That'll be very exciting to see. I've never seen a high schooler, a high school female dunk before, so that'd be great to see, David. Yeah, so Lady Wildcats, as you said, David, lead 11-8 on that Jenna Johnson three-pointer with 6:03 remaining in the first half. Yeah, at the line for York, David, is Reese Beatty. She has 2 points in the ball game. She's now 0 of 3 from the line. And that's good because we really need her underneath. I mean, we have Jenna Johnson, and that's about it. I mean, Zayana Stewart, she's not afraid to get down in the post and bang around a little bit, but she's not quite as big as we need her to be. Travel. That foul called on Jenna Johnson for the Lady Wildcats. I'm not sure if that's her second or third foul. Hopefully, just her second. But to the line will go Reese Beatty again, where she's 3 of 4 from the line. 14-12.
I did. Yes, I did. No, down. Yeah, I heard you. Who told you that? I mean, you could really see it. I'm not here. What are you trying to do? Why? Because we're trying to figure out what we're going to do. Yeah. What song are you going to do during the night? Like, I'm going to warm up for the boys. Oh, yeah, I know how to use it. Like, you know how to play, like, you know how to run the off. Yeah. So, yeah, kiss my breath. A few minutes. So you do know how to run, okay? Yes. Yep. The picture. Yeah. All right, you see this cord down here? I mean, I see the cord. I just want to know if you can run it or not. I mean, yeah. You plug in and you press play and it plays music. That's how it works. Sorry. Okay. So I'm gonna bring a phone to you guys. And after you open I've been to the floor. All right. All right. Hold on.
That foul, I believe, will go on number 25, Emma Cooper, for the Dragonettes, David, to the line. Once again, for the Lady Wildcats, I believe that's Ayana Porter. Actually, no, that is number 3, Demetria Strickland. You should know better. Just a very nice athletic play by York as they came from behind to block her shot. Yeah, there really are, David. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to keep track of them, but I'd say there's probably at least 10 turnovers for the Lady Wildcats here in the first half. Very nice drive. Good aggressive move there on the baseline, David. She now has 8 points for Lady Wildcats. Cannon in the ballgame, David, is yet to score. This will be her first attempt from the free throw line with 10.1 seconds remaining in the first quarter. In the first half. No good. $20. I think I'm very impressed with York Institute, David. This is a really good team. I understand how they made it so deep in the state tournament last year. I think it's a great team for the Lady Wildcats to open up with this season. Obviously, as we said, a lot of turnovers for Lady Wildcats. First game to be expected. Well, I guess not to be surprised by, but I'm sure Coach, as you said, David, Coach Taylor is going to want to get those taken care of.
I don't know how to pick a card in that. No, I scared to mess it up. Started once. No, like open with the ball. What I mean. Hey, make sure there's a yeah, like stop on the right there, like finger. Don't stop.
You're good to go.
Oh, I am? I don't really know how. It looks good. Gracias, por favor. I don't think that means thank you.
No, no, part of it.
Let's try to sit in, please.
Oh, my face.
1980 state championship football team. As a lifelong resident of Oak Ridge, I would love to put my knowledge of the area to work for you should you have any real estate needs. You can contact me at 865-919-5559 or at BetsyColemanRealty.com. Thank you, and roll Wildcats roll.
A winning tradition defines Oak Ridge Wildcats basketball. At Mortgage Investors Group, we pride ourselves in the same winning tradition to help your family find the perfect mortgage loan. Call Norma Sheldon, Jackie Pullen, Shannon Ochiltree, Mandy Henry, Darren Osborne at 865-482-8910 or visit us online at mortgageinvestorsgroup.com. Tennessee Mortgage License Number 109111. MIG is an equal housing lender.
Marquez back here at
Back here
Oak
at
Ridge.
the Wildcat Arena, David Clary along with Mark and Shauna Hayes. As I mentioned, the Wildcats will be headed to Sevier County and to Pigeon Forge, their next ball games. Of course, the Oak Ridge High School football team will be in action coming up this Friday. The Wildcats traveling to Powell. Wildcats and the Panthers playing in the third round of the playoffs, the final 8 in the state of Tennessee. We'll hope you'll join us over there. If not, you can join us on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, and prepradio.com. We will not be able to stream that ball game. The NFHS network will have it for you. Mark's still working on the technical side of things. I'm going to take another quick timeout. It's Oak Ridge. Lady Wildcats on top 22-20. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know your insurance agent's name? Does your agent know your name? Or do you call a 1-800 number that connects you with someone in another state, maybe even another country? Why not call Fox Insurance Group in Oak Ridge, your local independent insurance agency with auto owners insurance? We are someone you can call when stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. This is Todd Fox. Visit Fox Insurance Group in Oak Ridge at grayfoxins.com.
Ortho Tennessee Oak Ridge shows our commitment to orthopedic excellence by providing on-site physical therapy, online patient self-scheduling, telemedicine, and a podiatrist on staff. We strive to take care of all your orthopedic needs in a professional and efficient manner with the respect you deserve. Ortho Tennessee Oak Ridge, serving the East Tennessee area for over 35 years, a proud supporter of high school athletics. Check us out on Facebook, online at osorortho.com, or call us at 865-481-2541 to schedule your appointment today.
Back here at the Wildcat Arena, we have a quick opportunity for Mark to run down the scoring for the Lady Wildcats.
Thanks very much, David. Oak Ridge led in scoring by both Jenna Johnson with 8 points and Demetria Strickland with 8 points. Jenna Johnson, 1 of 3 from two-point land, 2 of 2 from three-point land. Demetria Strickland, she's 1 of 2 from twos, 1 of 1 from threes, and 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Also scoring for the Lady Wildcats, Ayana Stewart. She has 2 points. She's 1 of 3 from the field. Ayana Porter also with 2 points, 1 of 5 from the field. Cannon Green is 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and Bella Boone is 1 of 3 from the free throw line. David?
Thanks a lot. We are about to get set once again, and I believe we've got the streaming mic. My mic was always working on prepradio.com, but we couldn't get it to the stream. We apologize for that, but I think we've got it all taken care of now. And the scoreboard is straight on the screen as well, so all is right in Wildcatville here tonight. Just underway here in the second quarter. Lady Wildcats up by 2. They work the ball down low. The ball's loose on the floor. They're going to drive up for a shot, and the ball's knocked out of bounds by York. Lady Wildcats, Mark fell behind 8-2 in the ball game, tied the ball game, actually took the lead 11 away. It's been back and forth since that time. Lady Wildcats with a little bit of a flurry. Their biggest lead has only been 5 points. That was at 19-14. Their lead now is only 2. Lady Wildcat basketball coming out with Zayana Stewart. She's at the free throw line, dribbles in with her back to the goal, now takes it to the baseline, goes in for the shot. Good. That's a great drive. And the Lady Wildcats are back up by 4.
I'll tell you what, David, you can tell sometimes when Zayana gets the ball that she's going to take the ball to the hole. She's not going to pass it. And exactly what she did there as the lady, or rather Dragonettes, come back and answer with a foul assessed against Demetria Strickland. So the lady, or Dragonettes, have an opportunity for a 3-point play here.
And they'll go to the free throw line just underway here in the second half. 24-22. Lady Wildcats. Free throws up. No good. Rebounded by Jenna Johnson. Lady Wildcats maintain the lead. Playing with Jenna along with Zayana Stewart, Ayana Porter, number 24 Cannon Green. And the Lady Wildcats also having the ball game. Forgetting somebody. Let's see. I'm trying to track that other person down. Well, we'll get that in a second. I'm missing somebody. Lady Wildcat basketball. With the basketball will come Demetria. She drives along the baseline, goes in for the shot. No good, is blocked. Down the floor with the basketball will come York. They can tie it with a 2 or take the lead with a 3. They're going to drive, get a reverse layup up. No good. Big board by Jenna, but I think Jenna was fouled or was just knocked out of bounds. Yep, they're going to call a personal foul, I believe, against number 25 for them, Emma Cooper. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. 24-22. It's a physical ball game, and I agree with what you said earlier, Mark. I think this is a good opening ball game for the Lady Wildcats to play a big physical team like this, because we don't see size like this in our district. Here's a 3 up. Good. 3-point shot bombed in from the outside. The Lady Wildcats are up 5.
Now with, 13 points for the Lady Wildcats is Demetria Strickland.
Here they come down the floor. Demetria is a junior member of the Lady Wildcats. Ball is loose on the floor, and then it's going to be the ball knocked out of bounds by Oak Ridge. Lady Wildcats only have 1 senior on the roster. They have 2 juniors on the roster, and the rest are sophomores and freshmen, which makes for a great time later. Of course, Lady Wildcats are playing. We talked about this at the top of the broadcast. Those on the stream didn't get to hear it, but Lindsay Cleveland, Lady Wildcats, has a little hip flexor issue right now. She's going to be out for a week or so. We'll hopefully get her back here soon. She's, of course, one of the more vital members, especially defensively for Lady Wildcats. They put up a 3, no good. Rebounded quickly by the Lady Wildcats. Zayana's going to bring it coast to coast. Didn't have the numbers and backed it up once again. Now goes in, wants to shoot. You know her. She's going to be aggressive. She doesn't mind driving in there. Lady Wildcats get another shot opportunity. Up, no good. Knocked out of bounds by the Dragonettes. Demetria with the missed shot. 5-point Oak Ridge lead, 27-22. For those of you on the stream who didn't hear me, you're wondering who York Institute or what they are they any good? They were a state quarterfinal team a year ago. As they lost in the state tournament, they had won 26 ball games. This is a great team, and as I jokingly said, as Jenna works the ball out to the top of the circle, Lady Wildcats launch a 3. Good. Another 3-point shot for Lady Wildcats, this time by Ayana Porter, and the Lady Wildcats have their biggest lead. York Institute, there's a breakdown on defense. They still missed a shot. They get the rebound, though, and then have to come out of there with a basketball right in front of their bench. York Institute is located in Jamestown, Tennessee. It's actually the Alvin C. York Institute, founded by Alvin York, the most decorated World War I veteran. And we've never played them before, but they're a state caliber team. They went a year ago and finished in the top 4 in the state of Tennessee, maybe the top 8 here. York basketball, they are the Dragonettes. As I said, we've never played them before. Their boys team, which will follow, was the state runner-up a year ago, losing to Milan in the state championship ball game. And I jokingly said, and those on Prep Radio, here's another steal by Oak Ridge. I'll come back to my point as Lady Wildcats push it up the floor with Zayana Stewart. Lady Wildcats, Zayana's going to take it right to the hole. Good. Count it, and a block call. Wildcats have a 10-point lead. I'm surprised York hasn't called a timeout. The boys team we're going to play tonight, very seldom do people dial our number to call Oak Ridge. I think that means York thought they had 2 really good teams, and obviously their girls team is good. Their boys team was state runner-up a year ago, so they called us. We're playing them, and it's a great way to start the season. 10-point Lady Wildcat lead, biggest lead by either team. As Oak Ridge goes back to the free throw line. So it's good. Nice little flurry here to start the third quarter. Are you surprised that York hasn't called a timeout, Mark?
Yeah, they've only scored 2 points here in the third quarter, David, as they're 3:15 into the second half.
We'll have the final statistics after the ball game. Coach Taylor will come up to speak to me as well. They launch a 3. It's on its way. This one's no good. They hit most of their 3s early on. There's going to be a jump ball. The alternate possession arrow will give Oak Ridge the basketball. Early on, they were knocking down a few 3s, but here in the second half to this point, they have not been able to. It's been Oak Ridge who has knocked down some 3s here. The Lady Wildcats try to bring the ball down the floor. We've got a reach-in foul called against number 33 for them. That's Emily Doss. 33-22, Lady Wildcats in the lead. Oak Ridge will play CAK on Monday at Pigeon Forge High School. We'll have the game on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, prepradio.com as well. We'll hope to stream it from Pigeon Forge. You remember the last time we went to Pigeon Forge, Mark Haste?
I do. It'll be a long time before I forget that trip, David. That was the COVID trip.
Yeah, everybody in the crew got COVID on that trip, and except one, and he might have already had it and might have given it to us. But, yep, that's the COVID trip. But hopefully that's all part of our past here. Lady Wildcats turned the ball over. Here comes York down the floor. About halfway through, here's a deflection, a near steal by Oak Ridge's Demetria, saved on the floor by the York Institute, and they turn it over again. Oak Ridge basketball. A lot of turnovers here in the early going. Oak Ridge coast to coast with it. Shot is no good. Rebound to York. 3:56 to play. York did not turn the ball over much in the first half, but here in the second half, at least the first few minutes, they get an easy bucket up good. They beat us down the floor that time. They didn't have many turnovers in the first half. Wow. There's another turnover. I'm jinxing this, Mark, as they drive in for a shot. Blocked by Jenna. Blocked shot, and the Wildcats have the ball. It's loose and picked up by Cannon Green. Green to Jenna Johnson. Johnson drives in, and then she has the ball ripped out of her hands. Got to communicate a little better down on the floor, and they get a chance for a layup. It's up. No good, but a foul is going to be called. Got to do a little communicating. They were coming behind Jenna, and the Lady Wildcats have got to alert the sophomore that somebody's coming in behind, and the Lady Wildcats turn the ball over. And then on the other end, they have an opportunity to shoot a couple free throws here.
I think they're going to need some oxygen too. I mean, that was quite a flurry. Both teams up and down the court both ways, David.
3:27 to play. We're in the third period. Free throws up good. And Wildcat lead starting to shrink just a bit here. 3:27 to play. And now a timeout is asked for by Coach Paige Taylor. We're going to take it with them. We're live here at the Wildcat Arena. Lady Wildcats on top 33-25. We'll be back to the Wildcat Arena in a moment.
Mortgage Investors Group at the Oak Ridge office. We love our community and Oak Ridge Wildcat basketball. We pride ourselves in taking the same winning tradition in helping you find the perfect mortgage loan for your family. Ask for Norma Sheldon, Jackie Pullen, Shannon Ochiltree, Mandy Henry, or Darren Osborne at 865-482-8910 or visit us online at mortgageinvestorsgroup.com. Tennessee Mortgage License Number 109111. MIG is an equal housing lender.
David Clary back here along with Mark and Shauna Haste here. Our opening ball game, our opening broadcast here. We apologize. We had the prep radio working, but somehow not getting the my mic to the stream, and probably a lot of people were happy for that because they would rather hear your golden pipes there, Mark.
Well, when you leave me in charge of the mics, I mean, things like that will happen.
You are the audio man. You are the technical guru of our broadcast here. And Shauna, of course, just does great work on the camera. Got the clock on the scoreboard. We've got our sponsors on the lower left corner. Those are mainly our football sponsors. We're still in football season. Of course, the Wildcats will play Friday at Powell. One more free throw for York. This one's good, I think.
Yes.
And I don't know why play was halted. I guess we're going to get a substitute into the game, and they'll substitute one out of the game. Be Oak Ridge basketball, and they're going to put a little pressure on Oak Ridge. Down the floor will come Jenna, swings the ball to Demetria Strickland. Across it goes to Porter. Left side, pass off the fingertips of one of the Lady Dragons. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball leading 33-26. We were tied 8-8 after one quarter. Oak Ridge led 22-20 at halftime. The Lady Wildcats lead now 33-26 with 3:17 to play. Ayanna Porter getting heavy pressure, still goes in for the shot, no good, and draws the foul. I think they want her to do that. She's quick on quick, as Coach Pruden used to always say to me, and Ayanna Porter is going to go to the free throw line for the Lady Wildcats.
Ayanna Porter having a great game for the Lady Wildcats. She has 5 points, David. This will be her first attempt from the free throw line.
She'll have two, the first of which is up and good. Of course, her dad was Adrian Porter, the fine Wildcat from years ago, the late 90s and early 2000s. 34-26. Second free throw also good. The Wildcat, pretty good free throw shooter last year, was nearly 70% from the free throw line. Down the floor, once again will come York. The Wildcats in the lead, 35-26. This is a state team, a team that went to the state tournament a year ago. We've talked about that, and a great test for the Lady Wildcats to start their season. Lady Wildcats have done good work in the preseason when their scrimmages with victories over Catholic as they work the ball in, unable to get a three-point shot. They've extended their defense out a little bit, not allowing, as they're going to drive against Boone here. Good defense there by Bella. Oh, there's a carry. The Lady Wildcats are going to get it on the turnover. Good defense there by Bella Boone.
It really was, David. You know, I was hoping that she'd be a little bit more aggressive and try to tip that ball away, but she stayed in her defensive stance, as I'm sure she was coached to do, and just played great.
Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. Ayana having trouble with the pressure defense being applied by the Lady Dragons. Oak Ridge basketball, Jenna Johnson, 35-26. Oak Ridge in the lead, 2:19 to play third quarter. Ayana escapes, drives in a little bit out of control, needs some help, gives it off to Jenna. Out to the top, Demetria for three is on its way, no good. Bella battles, can't get the rebound. They're going to call a foul against Bella Boone. Oak Ridge is shorthanded here tonight, as I've mentioned, without Lindsay Cleveland, the do-it-all defensive player and great three-point shooter. Bella's going to have to come out of the ballgame.
Yeah, she'll step out. She'll spend a little time with the coach with 4 fouls, David.
2:06 to play third quarter. Bella, her most playing time in her career in this ball game, and she's a junior. As the Lady Wildcats had a breakdown on defense, but they couldn't get a shot to fall. It'll be York with the basketball. 1:54 to play third quarter. 35-26 is our score from the Wildcat Arena. Oak Ridge traveling to play CAK in a girls game on Monday. The boys and girls will be playing on Tuesday at Sevier County High School against South Doyle as they get a shot up. Good. Wildcats have a little bit of a scoring drought here, and the Wildcats have the ball knocked out of bounds, and it'll be for the Wildcats a deflection and another turnover, I believe. Wildcats will see York inbound it, 35-28, the Wildcats by 7. If Coach Taylor's going to tell me after the game, win or lose, that they had too many turnovers, and that'll be one of the key things we talk about with her. She'll be excited about this team, though, because this is a really good team we're playing, as we mentioned, to start the season. You don't get many chances to play a good team right out of the chute sometimes. The non-district ball games are not your greatest early on, but this was a great test. And it's like the Pat Summitt way of scheduling. You schedule good teams to make you better for March.
Oh, exactly. You know, we see other schools around us who they just really pad their schedule early on. But Oak Ridge, that's one thing I really like about it, is that they do not do that. They will not back down from anybody.
Missed shot by York, rebounded by Jenna Johnson. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. Jenna loops it down the right side, saved inside. Jenna back up for the shot. Good. Jenna Johnson with a bucket. She got the rebound on the other end of the floor, and the Lady Wildcats are back up by 9. 37-28 the score. 34 seconds to play. Need to stop on defense. There's a blocked shot. Great defense. Ball knocked away. Just a saving shot by the Wildcats. Wildcats were a little bit beaten down the floor, and I know Coach Taylor won't like that, but Wildcats recovered enough to stop the shot. 29.8 seconds, 37-28. Lady Wildcats in the lead. They work the ball in. York does. Third quarter winding down here from the Wildcat Arena. There was no junior varsity ball game tonight. York with the basketball, 20 seconds and counting. 37-28 the score. Lady Wildcats playing with Cannon Green, only senior on the roster. Sophomores Jenna Johnson, Zayana Stewart. They get a shot up, no good. Foul's going to be called against the Lady Wildcats. Junior Demetria Strickland in the ball game. Sophomore Ayana Porter in the ball game. So the Wildcats playing with 3 sophomores, 1 junior, and 1 senior. To the free throw line will go York Institute. They trail 37-28 with 10 seconds to play. 2 shots upcoming, the first of which is good.
To the line for the Dragonettes is Gabby Beatty, David. She's having a good night. She's 3 or 4 from the line. She has a total of 7 points in the ball game.
He's a senior for Coach Michael Green, head coach of the Dragonettes. Second toss, good. 37-30 the score. Oak Ridge by 7. They led by 2 after one half of basketball. We're down with Oak Ridge setting it up to Zayana Stewart. She's stripped of the ball, picked up on the floor. They won't get a chance to get a shot off as the third quarter comes to a close. 3 quarters of basketball in the books, and the opening ball game of the year for the Lady Wildcats. They lead York 37-30. We'll be back to the Wildcat Arena in 60 seconds.
Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty. I'm a proud graduate of Oak Ridge High School, class of 1982, and a member of the 1980 state championship football team. As a lifelong resident of Oak Ridge, I would love to put my knowledge of the area to work for you should you have any real estate needs. You can contact me at 865-919-5559 or at BetsyColemanRealty.com. Thank you, and roll Wildcats roll.
A winning tradition defines Oak Ridge Wildcats basketball. At Mortgage Investors Group, we pride ourselves in the same winning tradition to help your family find the perfect mortgage loan. Call Norma Sheldon, Jackie Pullen, Shannon Ochiltree, Mandy Henry, Darren Osborne at 865-482-8910 or visit us online at mortgageinvestorsgroup.com. Tennessee Mortgage License Number 109111. MIG is an equal housing lender.
David Clary back here along with Mark and Shauna Hayes. Reminder, this Friday, the Wildcats are taking on the Powell Panthers in the third round of the TSSAA playoffs. The Wildcats traveling to Powell for the second time this year. As of right now, we won't be able to stream. The TSSAA has what I consider to be a not so smart deal with the NFHS network, where they get exclusive rights to broadcast whenever they stream. Although we've been paying them $750 the last 2 weeks, I guess they don't want to. That $750, they allow the NFH network to broadcast free. It is a subscription-based broadcast, so you'll have to pay if you're going to watch the stream, but we'd rather have you come over to PAL. Really a turnover right there. York with the basketball as we start play here in the fourth quarter, 37-30 the score. York was a state tournament team a year ago, as we've been mentioning. They have the basketball, and there's going to be a travel called against Amy Crabtree. I guess she just didn't put the ball down the floor. They're going to put a little pressure on Oak Ridge once again. The Wildcats are going to go with the half-court pass. It goes to Jenna. Jenna's going to drive coast to coast, pull up and shoot. No good. Maybe rushed it just a bit. Didn't really have it. There was 2 defenders in her face, and here comes York down the floor. They're really quick to get the ball down the floor. They missed that shot. They get the rebound. They go back up with it. No good. Third time is not the charge. Rebound this time by Jenna. Jenna swings the ball right side. Lady Wildcats save it. They push the ball up the floor, and they turn the ball over for a moment. Saved away by Zayana Stewart. Zayana with it. 7:14 to play in the ball game. Oak Ridge on top, 37-30 here in the girls' game. Play is halted again. 7:09 to play, Mark.
Looks like a warning to the bench for York. I'm not quite sure what went on. It had to have been words from one of the coaching staff for York.
Michael Green is the head coach. Mike Johnson is their assistant coach. Oak Ridge is being trapped up high. Out of it goes, and he goes to Jenna. Jenna drives the baseline, swings it out, and it's going to be called for a travel. Lady Wildcats turn the ball over once again. Really good defense by York.
It really is, David. I mean, I am not used to the Lady Wildcats being out-hustled up and down the court, but I'm not saying they are this time, but I'll tell you what, they've met their equal here, which is really unusual for the Wildcats.
If Saylor's not going to like that foul, Jenna commits the foul. She just kind of reached in. It'll be a foul against Oak Ridge. The number of team fouls that for Oak Ridge here in the second half?
6.
So the next one puts them on one in the bonus. 6:53 to play in the ballgame. 37-30. Lady Wildcats need to continue to get stops on defense. Just that sudden little flurry there in the first part of the third quarter. As they launch at 3, it's off the rim. No good. Rebound Oak Ridge. Wildcats, Ayanna Porter comes out of there with it to Jenna. And then Jenna is going to be fouled by number 22, Amy Crabtree. That little flurry to start the third quarter is the difference in the ballgame right now.
Yeah, and actually, the way that the Lady Wildcats came out to begin the third quarter, I mean, they outscored York 15-10 in the third quarter.
Very poor decision there by the Lady Wildcats to go with a half-court pass. It's going to cost them. If she hits the three, she does not. The Wildcats survive here. Zayana Stewart with the rebound, going coast to coast with it. Works the ball right side. Cannon Green will not take the shot. Here's a long three up. No good. No rebounding. Little quick shot there. Lady Wildcats still in the lead, 37-30, but last two possessions have not been pretty ones. 6:11 to play in the ballgame, 37-30. Lady Wildcats. Oak Ridge has got to kind of slow things down just a bit. They work the ball right side. Number 32, that's Beatty once again. She drives the baseline, goes in for the shot. It rolls in good. Well, Lady Wildcats could use a timeout here to kind of get settled a little bit. This pressure causing them to speed up a bit as Oak Ridge works it across the line. Oak Ridge basketball. Here it goes out to the top. Now they'll drive in, pulling up. And before that, a foul on the floor is going to be called against the York Lady Dragons. 37-32. Oak Ridge had a double-digit lead at one point in this one, but it has since shrunk down to nothing. Lady Wildcats were up at one point by 11, I believe. Only a 5-point game right now, anybody's ball game. Last few possessions have not looked too good. Give all the credit in the world to York. They've really put the pressure on Oak Ridge. Lady Wildcats got to play some team basketballs. The ball's worked into Jenna Johnson. Got to get Jenna a little bit more involved. She works the ball left side of Cannon. Left corner goes Ayana, drives the baseline, stutter steps, and throws the ball to Cannon around to Jenna. Swings the ball right side. Porter with the basketball. Ayana drives in. Baseline jumper is good. Off the glass. Pretty shot there by the sophomore.
Nice way to switch the ball to the left hand for that shot, David. Great athletic play.
Here comes York down the floor once again. They'll work the ball down low underneath the goal. Cannon tries to stop the easy layup. Here's the shot. It's no good. Rebounded by Oak Ridge, and then a reach-in foul is called against York. 5:09 to play in the ballgame, 39-32. This has been a slugfest and a great way to start the season, as we said several times tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and it really surprised me how physical this game has been. And, the referees have let it happen. As it's usually the case. But, I'm just not used to this level of physicality early in the season.
Lady Wildcats to the line, one in the bonus here. Hit the free throws down the stretch. First toss is up good. Pretty reliable at the free throw line.
She's perfect. She's now 3 of 3.
Back to the free throw line we'll go. Ayana Porter, she's a sophomore. Demetria Strickland in the ballgame. Jenna Johnson in the ballgame. Zayana Stewart as well for Lady Wildcats. Cannon Green as well. Toss is good. 41-32. We're back up to a 9-point lead here. Lady Wildcats, 5:06 to play in the ballgame. They've got a wide open three. It's off the rim, no good. Long rebound tracked down by York. Under 5 minutes to play. Here's a layup. Good. They allowed that drive, and I know she's not going to be happy about that either. Here come the Lady Wildcats, leading 41-34 on the other end of the floor. Shot is up, no good. What's the call? They're going to call a foul, and that's a bad call.
I don't know. I think she was over the back, David. I think she was over the back trying to get that rebound, tip it back up.
Okay, we'll go with that. You saw it. I'm going to say this right now. I am not going to pick on the officials all season. What do you think?
I think that will not last through the night.
Okay, 4:46 to play. They're going to shoot free throws here. Oak Ridge on top, 41-34. Still a lot of time to go. One in the bonus here. Shot is good. Back to a 5 or 6-point game here, 41-35. We're broadcasting from the Wildcat Arena on prepradio.com and streaming on our YouTube channel. Shot is good. Wildcats back down the floor here. Jenna Johnson accelerates after getting the pass and throws the ball down low for a shot. No good, and hammered on the backside. Ball's knocked out of bounds by York. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. Wildcats really kind of forced that one down the floor. They're lucky to maintain possession. Oak Ridge ball. Getting the ball in. It comes to Jenna. Tacks right, gives it out to Zayana. Zayana drives into the hole. Shot is no good. Ball's knocked out again by York. Oak Ridge fans and bench, I think, wanted a personal foul there. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. Demetria Strickland will work the ball in. 4:34 to play. 5-point Oak Ridge lead. 41-36. Ball's worked in. And it comes to Zayana. Zayana needs to go back to her teammate. She's going to drive in again. Wildcats had players open, but I've said it before, and you cannot fault Zayana Stewart. She is aggressive. If she gets the ball around the free throw line and she sees the slightest little crease, she's going to take it and she's going to go with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a bull seeing red almost, David. I mean, like I said earlier, there are times when you can just tell when she gets the ball, it doesn't matter how open somebody is. She's taking it to the hole, and she's going to take it very aggressively.
First free throw is up. Good. The Wildcats doing good work so far at the free throw line. Got to continue that down the stretch here. 4:29 to play. 42-36 to score. Live from the Wildcat Arena, the boys' game will follow against the state runner-up York Dragons. That free throw way off the mark, and here comes York down the floor. Wildcats got to get some stops on defense. Here comes York outside the line. Now they're going to drive in, penetrate, get a shot up. No good. Whistle blows and a foul called against Oak Ridge. You're exactly right. I think Oak Ridge is surprised at the quickness of these girls from York. Lady Wildcats have been caught flat-footed a couple times, and that girl just kind of blew past the defense. And Oak Ridge, the only thing they could do was commit the foul. Free throws up, good.
Yeah, I think that Reese Beatty, David, is very similar to Zayana Stewart, where you can tell when she's going to take the ball to the hole, and that's exactly what she did there. She picks up the foul, and hits both of her free throws. She now has 14 points for the Dragonettes.
And it's down to a 4-point game. 4:18 to play. The clock moving slowly as Wildcats try to get the ball across the line, and Demetria turns the ball over. Little ticky-tack right there. I'm not saying it wasn't what she did, but Lady Wildcats struggling against their pressure, and we've got a 4-point game with 4:15 to play. Wildcats had a double-digit lead. Bella Boone's back in the ball game. The Lady Wildcats. Bridges had a few too many turnovers, and that was in the rear court. York basketball. They fire it in. On defense, Wildcats playing with Jenna Johnson, Cannon Green, Zayana Stewart, Demetria Strickland, Bella Boone in the ball game as well. Here comes York driving one-on-one inside the paint. They've got a wide open three in the corner. It's up good. Great ball at that time. They penetrated, kicked it out, and they nailed the shot.
That three made by Emma Cooper, David, has another Lady Wildcat turnover.
They don't like this pressure, and a lot of times teams that pressure don't like to be pressured. Lady Wildcats turn it over, and Ayanna Porter is going to come back into the ballgame, and Bella's going to check out. So we've got a 1-point game. The Wildcats were up 7 after 3 quarters, 37-30, but it's a 1-point game now. It's been all Lady Dragons since about halfway through this quarter, halfway through the time we've expired in this quarter. There's a lot of dribbling right here. 5-second count was on. They're going to drive to the baseline. She almost turns the ball over. They've got a wide open three again. This one's no good. We need this rebound. It's going to be pulled away. They missed the shot. Rebound, Jenna had it. Saved by Cannon Green. Lady Wildcat basketball maintaining the ball and the lead. 42-41. Wildcat basketball. There's a block called against number 33, Emily Doss. Wildcats continue to run right into the defense there. Give all the credit. This is a very, very well-coached York team.
Oh, I'm really enjoying this game, David. These are two very good teams as they face off here to open the season.
The Wildcats to the free throw line, only up by 1 point, 42-41. One in the bonus here. Lady Wildcats need to knock down their free throws. The first one is good.
Ayanna Porter at the line, David, for the Lady Wildcats. She now with 12 points. Perfect 5 of 5 from the line.
Back to the free throw line she goes. 43-41 Oak Ridge. Second toss good. Knocking down the free throws, and here comes York moving left to right, wearing their all blue jerseys with gold, similar to Carnes. Here come the Lady York Dragons working along the baseline. Too easy. They work the ball inside for a shot. Good. Way too easy, and York calls the timeout. We were allowing too much middle penetration there, Mark. I know there's some great ball handlers. They've got some physical size and presence. They're excellent with their ball handling, but we're allowing way too much penetration inside.
Yeah, I agree. The defense has got to cut off these lanes, but part of it is their quickness. I mean, they're so quick. I mean, I don't think defensively we're used to teams just getting around us so easily, and they're just going to have to move their feet faster and get in better position.
Timeout was asked for. 3:04 to play. As I mentioned, the Lady Wildcats' next ball game will be coming up on Monday. They'll be traveling to Pigeon Forge High School to take on CAK. We'll hope you'll join us there at Pigeon Forge. The broadcast will begin around 6 o'clock. I think that'll be the start time. Nope, it'll be 7:30 tip-off time. Girls game only from Pigeon Forge. We'll broadcast on FM 92.7, 94.7, and prepradio.com. Fox Insurance Group, Ortho Tennessee, the Oak Ridge Utility District, Mortgage Investors Group, Laura Lynn Green with State Farm Insurance, Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty, and Tim Bank of Oak Ridge are our sponsors. We will also be hoping to get some individuals to sponsor ball games, which will help take care of some of our other expenses, which involve our radio, our streaming, our prep radio, our camera work for the coaches, and our camera work for their highlight tape. 3:04 to play in the ball game. Anybody's game right now. We've got a 1-point game. Pressure has been a problem for the Lady Wildcats. Let's see if they handle it this time. 44-43. Oak Ridge by 1. Lady Wildcats will try to work the ball in. Zayana Stewart looks for help, gives it in to Ayana Porter, and she's going to bring the ball down the floor. Ayana accelerates all the way to the free throw line, gives it into Jenna. Jenna cut off, fires it way up high here to Zayana. Zayana, top of the circle, dribbles past her defender, swings the ball left side to Demetria for 3. No good. Little quick shot there. She was well defended, and they can take the lead once again. 2:43 to play. Got to get back on defense. Got to be solid. I think Demetria might have rushed that shot just a bit.
Yeah, she did. You have to almost down here if you want a shot, because they're not going to give you anything open. If number 1, Reese Beatty, hits a 3 for them, she now has 19 points.
And the Lady Wildcats are down 2 now, 46-44. So a collapse here in the fourth quarter. Lady Wildcats are going to go to the free throw line with an opportunity to tie it once again. A little bit of a collapse. Oak Ridge was up 7 at one point, and a couple times actually up 8, actually up 9, 41-32 in this half, but have not scored a whole lot of points since that time. And Oak Ridge will go back to the free throw line with a chance to tie. 2:17 to play in the ball game, 46-44. Free throw is missed. Lady Wildcats, Ayana Porter doing good work at the line, but she misfires on that one. Lady Wildcats in their opening ball game, taking on the Dragonettes of York. The Wildcats have only lost one time in the opening game under Coach Taylor. That was to Wilson Central in 2017. Free throw is up, good. And it's 46-45. Lady Wildcats need to stop on defense here. Going past our defender is number 1, Emma Pyle. She works in for an easy shot, good. Lady Wildcat defense standing around, and Coach Lady Wildcats are down 48-45. And down the floor will come with Zayana Stewart with exactly 2 minutes to play in the ball game. Bridges Ayana Porter at the midcourt circle. Works the dribble off to the left side. The Wildcats have Cannon Green on the right wing. Here comes Oak Ridge driving in for a layup. Good. It's a great drive by Ayana Porter, and the Lady Wildcats are down by 1.
16 points now for Porter, David, as the Dragonettes come quickly to the other side. Tip, but retained.
We need a stop on defense here with 1:35 to play. 5-second count was on. Down 1:32 to play. York by 1, 48-47. 1:29 and counting here from the Wildcat Arena. The boys game will follow here on prepradio.com and on our YouTube stream on Prep Radio. And there's a little bit too aggressive bump foul there by Ayana Porter, and that's going to send York to the free throw line.
She may be done, David.
Coming over towards the sideline. That's not good because she's been providing most of the points here as they go to the free throw line for 2 shots, the first of which is good. 49-47 the score. 1:19 to play in the ball game. Emma Pyle back to the free throw line. Head coach of the boys team is named Pyle, I'm assuming. They're probably related in some way. Free throw is good. The Wildcats are down by 3 once again, 50-47. 1:17 to play. Don't need a 3 right here. You got plenty of time. The Wildcats have Bella Boone back in the ball game. You got to find a good shot. The Wildcats work it in. Demetria to Jenna. Jenna dribbles in. Shot is up. It's going to be short. Rebounded by the Dragonettes. That was not a bad look. She just tried to kind of a hook shot up there, and it didn't go in for her. Their basketball once again, under a minute to play. Wildcats need to stop on defense. They're trying to play keep away right here. They don't need any more points. They're already up by 3. They've got everything spread. Double bonus in effect, and what's the call? Foul called against Oak Ridge. 39 seconds to play. This is a team that went to the state tournament last year, York, and they are going to go back again. If by look, just the eye test and the way they've played, this has not been Oak Ridge's best ball game, but they've had their flurries, they've had their moments, but it's only the first game of the year. That free throw is up and no good. 39.1 second to play, 50-47 the score. They can make it a 2-possession ball game right here, and they do. Now the Wildcats need 2 possessions, and a timeout is asked for. We're going to take a timeout with them. We are live at the Wildcat Arena. David and Mark and Shauna Hayes, 39.1 seconds. Wildcats down 51-47. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know your insurance agent's name? Does your agent know your name? Or do you call a 1-800 number that connects you with someone in another state, maybe even another country? Why not call Fox Insurance Group in Oak Ridge, your local independent insurance agency with auto owner's insurance? We are someone you can call when stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. This is Todd Fox. Visit Fox Insurance Group in Oak Ridge at GrayFoxINS.com.
Ortho Tennessee Oak Ridge shows our commitment to orthopedic excellence by providing on-site physical therapy, online patient self-scheduling, telemedicine, and a podiatrist on staff. We strive to take care of all your orthopedic needs in a professional and efficient manner with the respect you deserve. Ortho Tennessee Oak Ridge, serving the East Tennessee area for over 35 years, a proud supporter of high school athletics. Check us out on Facebook, online at osortho.com, or call us at 865-481-25. Schedule your appointment today.
David Clary back here along with Mark and Shauna Hayes here at the Wildcat Arena. The boys game will follow the student section, beginning to swell a bit here. Wildcats have their work cut out for them, Mark, down 4 with 39 seconds to play.
Yeah, so Coach Taylor had a great opportunity there to set up exactly what she wants to do here with the final 39.1. You know, you're down by 4 and you have the ball. So let's see what Coach Taylor's drawn up for us.
They didn't put pressure on. They'll collapse back in their half-court defense here. Demetria Strickland's going to work around a screen, shoot a 3-point shot. It rims out, rebounded by Bella. Bella Boone back to Demetria. Works the ball right side of the Wildcats. Zayana Stewart thought about shooting a 3. She will. It's on its way. It's no good. And we're down to 19 seconds to play, and then they dribble the ball out of bounds. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. Oak Ridge caught a break, or they're going to say it's actually last touch by Oak Ridge. So it'll be the purple and gold team coming back the other way to shoot free throws. 18 seconds to play. Wildcats opening up their season at home here and trailing 51-47. They led, as I mentioned, at one point in this second half, in a big way, but have since seen that lane just diminish to nothing. They've led by as many as 9. Now they're down by 5. So it was a flurry to start the second half for Oak Ridge, a flurry to end the ball game by the Lady Dragons. As play is halted and clock is still moving. 13 seconds to play, 12 seconds, 10 seconds. They finally stopped the clock. It'll be a little bit of an issue there, but Lady Wildcats are down 53-47, down 6, only 14 seconds to play. So not the way the Lady Wildcats thought they were going to start their season, but as we said, this is a really good team they're playing, and it's only going to make them better as Lady Wildcats are down 6, need 3s quickly here. Wildcats dribbling in, unable to shoot. Jenna's got a couple 3s. She pulls up at the free throw line, missed a shot there, and they've got the board, and that's the final score of the ball game. Yep, no, Jenna's going to commit a foul with 2.6 seconds to play. York can celebrate here. They're going to beat Oak Ridge. The first time the two teams have ever played. They're going to knock off Oak Ridge 53-47. We'll have the final stats, and Coach Taylor will be up to speak to me at the end of the ball game. Wildcats and Dragonettes here. And this is a Dragon team. You never want to lose, but if we're going to lose to one Dragon team this year, it better be this one and not that other team from across the county, as that free throw is up and good by Reese Beatty. Now 54-47. Now 55-47. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. Cannon won't take the shot as the ball game comes to a close. Final score of the game here from the Wildcat Arena. Lady Wildcats defeated 55-47. Mark, your thoughts.
Wow, just looking at the differential, David, no big surprise. The fourth quarter was the big story, but we were outscored 25-10 in the fourth quarter to lose by 8 points. So I'm sure that you and Coach Taylor will, take that fact and dive into that a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that little piece of statistics as Coach Taylor will be up to speak to me. Why don't we take a break? Final score of the ball game, Lady Wildcats defeated 55-47. We'll be back to the Wildcat Arena with either Coach Taylor or the stats in 2 minutes.
Wildcat fans, this is Todd Fox. Auto Owners Insurance and Fox Insurance Group in Oak Ridge, a winning combination. We'll work with you to ensure your home, auto, business, and life keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance and Fox Insurance Group in Oak Ridge, the no problem people. For more information, visit grayfoxins.com or call 482-0513.
For personal, professional, and affordable accounting services, call Tracy Larrabee, CPA. Tracy's a 1978 graduate of Oak Ridge High School and can help with business, individual, estate, interest, tax accounting services, payroll processes for businesses, small business bookkeeping, tax planning, plus management advocacy services. Call Tracy Larrabee, CPA, 425-7736, or stop by 683 Emory Valley Road, Suite B. Tracy Larrabee, CPA.
Your pets are part of the family, and the caring professionals at MacArthur Animal Hospital know this, and they put their years of veterinary experience in caring to work. MacArthur Animal Hospital is located at 2190 Oak Ridge Turnpike in Oak Ridge. To learn more or to make an appointment, please call Dr. Paul Sluha at 865-482-1797. MacArthur Animal Hospital is proud to support some other cats too, the Oak Ridge Wildcat, and they would like to wish them well this season. MacArthur Animal Hospital, proudly serving the Oak Ridge area, 482-1797.
Sexton Automotive of Oak Ridge is proud to be a family and locally owned full-service car dealership.
Because of our outstanding commitment to servicing our competitive prices, you will not find a better experience buying a pre-owned vehicle than at Sexton Automotive of Oak Ridge. We never charge any dock or add-on fees and have no pressure environment.
Our rental fleet offers a variety of vehicles specializing in large passenger vans to help get your large group wherever you are headed.
Roll Wildcats Roll, Dennis of Radovac, Oak Ridge High School, class of 2008.
Get your next in at Sexton, Elizabeth Beard, Oak Ridge High School, class of 2001. Online 24/7 at sextonautos.com.
David Clary back here along with Mark and Shauna Hayes as we get ready for the boys game. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge warming up down below, and we'll talk to Coach Taylor when she gets up here. But think about this boys team. If you don't have a roster, you might be lost because most of the Wildcats off of last year's team, they made it to the region semifinals, have graduated, and they have moved on to college or other endeavors. The Wildcats losing their top 6 players off of last year's team. Of course, Kel Slater, Lucas Searcy, along with the Up-the-Graph twins, Caden and Jameson, all gone. Flip Thompson gone as well. It's a team that was loaded with talent last year, and this year it's going to be a rebuilding year. But as we've seen over the years, Coach Green always seems to be able to get the most out of whatever talent he has. And we look forward to seeing how this group does. I've seen them in scrimmages several times this preseason. They won 4 of their 5 preseason scrimmages. Of course, they're still without a couple players that will see a lot of action in terms of later on because football, still on the football team. But this is a solid group of players that will be seeing action here tonight for Coach Green, and we look forward to seeing that. Let's turn our attention over to Mark Case, and you've got the final statistics.
Thank you very much, David. As you said, Lady Wildcats fall to the Dragonettes of York Institute by a final 55-47. Leading scorer for Lady Wildcats was Demetria Strickland. She finished with 13 points. She was 4 of 11 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Ayanna Porter, she had 16 points. I apologize for that. She was 4 of 7, or rather 4 of 9 from the field, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Also in double figures, Jenna Johnson finished with 10 points. She was 4 of 9 from the field. 8 points added by Zayana Stewart. She was 3 of 9 from the field, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. 1 point added by Bella Boone, 1 of 3 from the line, and 1 point by Cannon Green, where she was 1 of 2 from the line. So as a team, the Lady Wildcats were 15 of 39 from the field. They were 10 of 28 from two-point land, 5 of 11 from three-point land, and they were 14 of 20 from the charity stripe. Now looking at the Dragonettes, they were led in scoring by Reese Beatty. She led all scorers tonight with 25 points. She was 6 of 12 from the field, 12 of 15 from the free throw line. She missed her first 3 free throws and made her next 12. Very impressive. Also in double figures for the Dragonettes was Gabby Beatty. She had 10 points, 3 of 9 from the field, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Also with 10 points was Emmy Crabtree, rather. She was 4 of 8 from the field. 8 points added by Emma Cooper. She was 2 of 3 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, and then rounding out the scoring for the Dragonettes, 2 points added by Emily Doss. She was 1 of 4 from the field. So as a team, the Dragonettes were 16 of 44 from the field. Breaking it down, they were 12 of 27 in twos, 4 of 17 in threes, and 19 of 24 from the free throw line. At the end of the first quarter, the game was tied 8-8. In the second quarter, Lady Wildcats outscored the Dragonettes 14-12 to take a 22-20 lead at the half. In the third quarter, Lady Wildcats outscoring the Dragonettes 15-10 to take a 37-30 lead into the fourth quarter. But then it broke down for the Lady Wildcats. As I said earlier, they were outscored 25-10 in the fourth quarter, and that's how we get to a final score. York Institute Dragonettes 55, Lady Wildcats 47. David?
Let's take a break here. We're waiting for Coach Taylor to join us up top. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge taking on the York Institute Dragons. We'll send it back. If Coach Taylor arrives here, we'll get out of the break here. We'll be back to the Wildcat Arena in a moment.
Energize your home with natural gas from ORUD, your affordable energy choice. ORUD has generous appliance incentives to offer your family. Buy appliances from us and get rewarded. It's as simple as that. We're a one-stop shop. We'll sell and install gas appliances for our customers and make it easy to add to your bill with our 0% interest financing. Plus, you can save over $1,000 on your annual utility bills when you switch to natural gas for heating, cooking, and clothes drying. Comfort you can feel, savings you can use. ORUD Natural Gas. Visit our showrooms in Oak Ridge, Kingston, and our virtual showroom at orud.org.
Wildcat fans, this is Todd Fox. Auto Owners Insurance and Fox Insurance Group in Oak Ridge, a winning combination. We'll work with you to ensure your home, auto, business, and life keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance and Fox Insurance Group in Oak Ridge, the no problem people. For more information, visit grayfoxins.com or call 482-0513.
They say that being a coach's wife is hard, but Laura Lynn Green, wife of Oak Ridge head coach Aaron Green, and a local State Farm insurance agent, makes buying insurance easy for you. Auto, homeowners, renters, business, life, health, and much more. Laura Lynn Green's office is located at 136 Marquette Road in Oak Ridge. Give her a call today at 483-5666 or say hello to her courtside at any Oak Ridge High School basketball game. She might be a coach's wife, but she was a Wildcat fan first. For State Farm Insurance, call Laura Lynn Green in Oak Ridge.
I'm Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty. I'm a proud graduate of Oak Ridge High School, class of 1982, and a member of the 1980 State Championship football team. As a lifelong resident of Oak Ridge, I would love to put my knowledge of the area to work for you should you have any real estate needs. You can contact me at 865-919-5559 or at BetsyColemanRealty.com. Thank you, and roll Wildcats roll.
Omaha, hike, hike. Hometown football excitement is in the air, and it's sponsored by your hometown bank, Ten Bank. Ten Bank helps build our local community and businesses, which helps create jobs. Bank local, so our community wins. Ten Bank, member FDIC.
Mortgage Investors Group at the Oak Ridge office. We love our community and Oak Ridge Wildcat basketball. We pride ourselves in taking the same winning tradition in helping you find the perfect mortgage loan for your family. Ask for Norma Sheldon, Jackie Pullen, Shannon Ochiltree, Mandy Henry, or Darren Osborne at 865-482-8910 or visit us online at mortgageinvestorsgroup.com. Tennessee Mortgage License Number 109111. MIG is an equal housing lender.
At Ortho Tennessee Oak Ridge, our staff and our practice are committed to orthopedic excellence in this region. We strive to treat our patients with the respect and understanding they deserve. Our physicians provide service at Methodist Medical Center, Tenova, Roane County Medical Center, and Park West Medical Center to accommodate all your orthopedic needs. Ortho Tennessee Oak Ridge has two locations, one in Oak Ridge and the other in Roane County, serving this area since 1979. We're a proud supporter of the Wildcats.
For personal, professional, and affordable accounting services, call Tracy Larrabee, CPA. Tracy is a 1978 graduate of Oak Ridge High School and can help with business, individual, estate, interest tax accounting services, payroll processing for businesses, small business bookkeeping, tax planning, plus management advisory services. Call Tracy Larrabee, CPA, 425-7736, or stop by 683 Emory Valley Road, Suite B. Tracy Larrabee, CPA.
Come in, discover the difference of an independent insurance agency. Fox Insurance Group, Oak Ridge.
David Clary, Mark, and Shauna Hayes back here at the Wildcat Arena getting set for Oak Ridge High School boys basketball, taking on the Dragons of York Institute. As I mentioned, this is a team that went to the state championship ball game in 2A basketball last year, losing to Milan in the state championship ball game. They're an excellent basketball team. They're well coached. Rodney Pyle is their head coach. And as I've been mentioning about the Oak Ridge basketball team, Oak Ridge, you know, I'll just run the names down, and you can think back to the roster a year ago. Addressing out in tonight's game, of course, we have some missing because of football. We've got Jaquez Johnson, who was a junior varsity player most of the year, all year last year. Lucas Hammonds did not play basketball last year. Shamar Green was on the freshman team a year ago. Marcus Peters was not on the basketball team. Grayson Strader, one of the seniors on the team, returns for the Wildcats, and he'll be seeing a lot of action, will be looked upon to do good things this year. Bryson Comer is a senior who had limited playing time a year ago. Brennan Scott is back on the roster. He's a junior player. He saw a lot of action. New point guard this year, at least starting out the year, will be Raekwon Ray Watson. He was on the freshman team a year ago. Connor Cummings is on the football team and not ready to go. Gavin Johnson was on the freshman team a year ago. Cameron McCullough was on the freshman team a year ago. Caden Brightarp is a junior. He saw limited action, especially late in the year. Bryce Davis is a junior. He's still with football. Ethan Eubanks, a sophomore. He's still with football. And Cooper Williams is a sophomore. He is still with football as well. So as you can see, as Coach Taylor has not made her way up here, so we're going to have to go ahead and start with the boys game. So if you remember last year's team, you won't remember a lot of those guys. Jamison and Caden and Lucas and Flip and Kel, they're all gone. I mean, those guys are gone. We don't have them with us this year. It's a rebuilding year for the Wildcats, and they're facing a team that made it all the way to the state championship game a year ago, Mark.
Yeah, and they were a team that was fun to watch. So I was able to watch a few scrimmages the other day. This team has got a lot of talent. They're young. I was not able to see, I guess the big for the Wildcats. I'm trying to find his name.
Grayson Strader.
Yeah, Strader. He was not playing last Tuesday when I was here to watch their scrimmage. So I'm looking for forward to see how he's developed from last year.
I think one of the keys, you're going to see a new guy that has not played since his freshman year, and that is Lucas Hammonds. He's 6'4", 185-pound senior, has not played since his freshman year, and that's a long time ago. But he's really looked good in the preseason. I think one of the exciting guys, and it seems like Coach Green always has guys like this. Our point guard is going to be Raekwon Watson. They call him Ray Ray. He's kind of on the same build as Kel and LeVert Smith and Marcus Smith. And he's kind of, one of those guys that distributes the ball. He can shoot the ball pretty well. He's going to be an exciting player to watch. And I'm excited to see how well Caden Bright has developed over the offseason. And of course, we've always had great shooting with Brennan Scott. He just has to put the other parts of the basketball together. There's other guys who just going to have to kind of blend in. And of course, we're missing some football guys. So who knows what's going to happen here tonight. And I hope the football team goes all the way to Chattanooga. And the only thing that could happen is that some young guys are going to get some playing time here and more experience when it comes time later on in the year.
Yeah, I mean, that's typically how the basketball season starts. Usually football's, fortunately for the Wildcats football tradition, they're, playing a little deeper.
Why don't you run down the starters real quick while the ball's about to be jumped up?
Okay, starting for the Wildcats, they're going to come out with Lucas Hammond, Grayson Strader, Brennan Scott, Raekwon Watson, and Caden Brightheart.
And the ball is up, and the Wildcats have control, and we are underway here at the Wildcat Arena. Oak Ridge and the York Institute Dragons. The two teams have never played. The Dragons wearing their purple and gold. The Wildcats drive in for a shot off the glass. It's up, no good. Rebounded by York. Pulled down by Blaine York. He's a senior, number 14. He dribbles the ball across the line, picked up by Ray Ray. Brennan Scott sporting a new hairstyle. They launch a three. It's up, no good. Brennan's got the rebound. Brennan's coming down the middle part of the floor here in a 0-0 ball game. The Wildcats left side, three-point shot to start the game is up, and it is good. Good start for the Wildcats, and Oak Ridge leads it by a score of 3-0.
Brightheart with that quick three for the Wildcats, David.
Brightheart came on late. I thought in the year as York, I believe, throws the ball away. Might have been touched by Oak Ridge. That is the case. As you see on the floor, Grayson Strader and Brennan probably have the most playing time from a year ago. Caden would be third. Ray Ray was on the freshman team, and Hammonds was not even on the team as they work the ball and throw the ball away. Pass intercepted by Oak Ridge. Taken by Grayson Strader down the middle of the floor. Setting it up will come number 11. That'll be Raekwon Watson. They launch a three from the outside. Strader did. It's up, no good. Down the floor will come York. 3-0 our score. The Wildcats in the lead. 6 minutes, 52 seconds to play first quarter. A deflection and a near steal by Brennan Scott. He's battling for it. It's loose on the floor. It's a jump ball. The alternate possession arrow will give the ball to York. 6:45 to play first quarter. If the fans in the arena don't have a roster, they don't know who these guys are unless they're parents, grandparents, or family members or friends.
Yeah, or, in school with them right now.
Here comes the York team once again on near deflection there. The Wildcat defense has been pretty good. There's going to be a little bit too much defense there. A foul's going to be called against Grayson Strader. Missing from the football team, we still have Price Davis, Ethan Eubanks, Cooper Williams yet to join the team. Connor Cummings as well. They are all with the football team. A couple of those will see a lot of action. There's a shot high off the rim. No good. Rebounded by the Wildcats. Coming down with it will come Ray Ray. Raekwon Watson, the sophomore, brings the ball across the line to Brennan Scott from the corner for three. Good. And we've seen Brennan do that ever since he was a kid at Robertsville. He can knock down the long-range shots.
He has a lot of hours put in shooting in this gym, David.
Here comes York down the floor. They get their first bucket up. Good. And it's a 6-2 ball game. And back the other way will come Oak Ridge. Here comes Brennan Scott. Out to the top. He goes to Strader. To the right corner to Brightheart. Brightheart drives the paint. Goes in for the shot. Might have been blocked. Is no foul there. A lot of contact. Here comes York down the floor. They'll work the ball down the baseline. They get beaten down the floor. The Wildcats did. The block shot there by Oak Ridge. Might have been Grayson Strader who blocked it. Saved by Brightheart. Brightheart to Grayson. Bounce pass goes inside Lucas Hammonds for the shot. Good. Lucas Hammonds, his first varsity bucket.
Yeah, nice even distribution of the points tonight, David. Brennan Scott, Caden Brightheart, and Lucas Hammond all have scored.
Here they come down the floor. The York Dragons, number 42 with it, Andrew Hall, stolen away by Caden Brightheart. Brightheart pushes it up the floor to Ray Ray. Around the left side to Scott. Brennan drives in, a little 15-footer off the rim, no good. Caden Brightheart with the rebound in the corner. Looks to Lucas Hammonds, he'll drive the paint. As he makes his drive, he's called for a travel. So the Wildcats turn the ball over. 5:11 to play first quarter, 8-2. The Wildcats in the lead opening game. Lady Wildcats were defeated 55-47. Hopefully we'll get a chance to speak to Coach Taylor at halftime of this game. We'll also have the stats. Here's a steal by the Wildcats. Grayson Strader turns, spins, drives, shoots on its way up there, and it's good. Grayson has a bucket, and it's 10-2 Wildcats with 4:58 to play in the first quarter. Oak Ridge pressure causing them some difficulties here in the early going.
And they're going to call a ticky-tack foul there on Ray Ray, David, and he'll pick up his first foul, team second for the Wildcats.
Mark, quit picking on the officials. I mean, I would never do that. Quit picking on the officials.
I am simply picking up the slack for you.
Here comes York down the floor, moving right to left, wearing purple and gold. It's kind of an interesting purple. It's not an Oliver Springs purple, but it is purple. They have the basketball. 10-2 our score. Basketball once again will come. The Dragons, they'll pull up, take a shot in the paint, hits the rim, and it's no good. They get the rebound back up. Again, no good. They get another rebound. Then the ball's kicked out of bounds. Last touch, they say, by Grayson Strader. Wildcats are about to get Bryson Comer in the ballgame. That's a guy we know, Mark. He played some last year.
Yeah, he did. And he's another big for the Wildcats as he comes in for Lucas Hammonds.
Here comes York to work the ball in along the baseline. 10-2 Wildcats, and immediately Bryson comes in and deflects the ball into the student section. It'll be York basketball again underneath the goal. The Wildcats playing with Grayson Strader, Bryson Comer, Ray Watson, along with Brennan Scott and Caden Brightheart. They get a turnaround jumper. It's good. Made good by Zach Bird, and it's 10-4, and down the floor will come Oak Ridge quickly. Brennan Scott outside the three-point line in front of the York bench. Works the ball to his left. Around to the baseline. It goes inside to Grayson Strader for the layup. Good. Grayson off the glass, and the Wildcats now lead at 12-4.
I'm not sure that they have an answer for Strader on the inside, David.
They've got a three-point shot up, and it's up, no good. Rebounded over the back comes one of those Dirty Dragons from York. Oh, that's not the Dirty Dragons. This is the York Dragons. We like these guys. 3:59 to play first quarter. Personal foul called against them. Oak Ridge basketball. 12-4. Good start for the Wildcats here.
It really is, a great start for the Wildcats. Quick up and down basketball, and, their defense is really causing York problems.
Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. The Wildcats have, looks like Marcus Peters in the ball game for the first time as Grayson goes underneath the goal again and scores, and Oak Ridge leads 14-4, and York has seen enough. They call a timeout. We'll take it with them. Oak Ridge in the lead, 14-4 from the arena. We'll be back in a moment.
Energize your home with natural gas from ORUD, your affordable energy choice. ORUD has generous appliance incentives to offer your family. Buy appliances from us and get rewarded. It's as simple as that. We're a one-stop shop. We'll sell and install gas appliances for our customers and make it easy to add to your bill with our 0% interest financing. Plus, you can save over $1,000 on your annual utility bills when you switch to natural gas for heating, cooking, and clothes drying. Comfort you can feel, savings you can use. ORUD Natural Gas. Visit our showrooms in Oak Ridge, Kingston, and our virtual showroom at ORUD.org.
David Clary back here along with Mark and Shauna Haste here at the Wildcat Arena. 3:44 to play first quarter. Wildcat guys in the lead 14-4. Marcus Peters in the ball game. He's 6 foot, 160-pound junior. Did not play for the Wildcats a year ago. The Wildcats also have Raekwon Watson, 5'10", 160-pound sophomore in the ball game. Bryson Comer's in the ball game. Bryson for the Wildcats, 6'3", 195-pound senior. Lucas Hammond, 6'4", 185-pound senior in the ball game. And the other starter for the Wildcats still in there, Brennan Scott, 6'1", 160-pound junior. Here's a steal by the Wildcats, and down the floor they'll come. with it across the way quickly will come Oak Ridge. They set it in the corner to Marcus Peters to Ray into Hammonds. He'll turn on the right block, wants to shoot, powers it up there, no good. Rebounded by Peters, six it out to Brennan. Brennan Scott at the free throw line, shoots, clang off the air, no good. Rebounded by Hammonds, back up with a shot, no good. Banged a little bit. It's going to be York coming back the other way. 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. 14-4 the score. They work the ball down low. Marcus Peters battles for a loose ball, grabs it, steals it, and has the basketball. Good defense by the Wildcats. Oak Ridge has it. Marcus Peters, as I mentioned, did not play. He's a junior player. Went out for the team last year, didn't make it. Not criticizing him. And that's perseverance. Came back, tried out again, and here he is playing in the first quarter of the first game of the year. Wildcats will substitute Brennan Scott out of the ball game. In the game for the first time, another sophomore, 5'9", 140-pound sophomore, Cameron McCullough. Good shooter, good player, plays good defense. I watched him on the freshman team a year ago. Here's a little shot off, no good. Rebounded by Kate Brightheart, back up with it, good. Caden hits the shot, and Oak Ridge leads 16-4 over the state runner-up York Dragons. Here they come down the floor, moving right to left. With it will come Jackson Canaster. He works the ball, got it by Caden. Then McCullough picks him up. Wildcats. And this is the early part of the year when Coach Green likes to see who is going to be in his final rotation. We've already seen 7 or 8 players already play, and he's just trying to get a feel who he wants in that rotation.
Well, I think part of it is also, David, I mean, the defense that he requires from everybody is so intense that, you're just going to have to substitute, frequently to keep up with this solid defense.
Personal foul is going to be called against Oak Ridge. It's going to send the Dragons to the free throw line. It's going to be number 14, Blaine York. This is the Alvin C. York Institute, and I wonder if he's related to the great Alvin York, the World War I hero. Mike Sheehan would know. I think Mike Sheehan probably went to school with Alvin York. What do you think?
I think he told us he was in a couple battles with him.
Mike Sheehan is on vacation, not with us here. Free throws good. 16-5 the score. Down the floor will come Oak Ridge quickly. Marcus Peters with it over to Vez Thomas in the ball game. He's 5'11", 150-pound junior. Wildcats work the ball down low, and it goes to Hammonds once again. Kicks the ball back out once again. The Wildcats turning, spinning. Little hook shot, little short. Missed that time, I believe, by Bryson Comer. You might remember Vez, Quez Thomas's brother, Javante Thomas, who played for the Wildcats a few years ago. Here comes a shot blocked by the Wildcats, pulled down by Hammonds. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor, leading 16-5. There's Thomas driving in, wanted to shoot, lost the ball, picked up by York. Minute 52 to play first quarter. The Wildcats with a good start here, leading 16-5. Oh, great steal there. Bryson Comer got in the passing lane. He just deflected it to himself. Great play by Bryson. The Wildcats down the floor to Hammonds. He's bumped, goes in for the shot, no good. Taken away by Brightheart for the shot, good. Caden Brightheart off the glass, and Oak Ridge now leads 18-5, Mark.
Oh, just, you've talked about it, David. Just a great defensive play that time by Bryson Comer to reach in there and knock the ball away. And a charge will be called against, let's see, number 14. That'll be York for York. And great job picking up that charge by Bryson Comer.
Grayson Strader's going to come back in the ball game. Out will come Lucas Hammonds, his first varsity start as a Wildcats. Quez Thomas down the floor, 5'11", 150-pound junior. Good bloodline, as I mentioned earlier. Caden Brightheart with it to Quez. Quez lobs it inside to Grayson. Great save on the baseline. This ball ripped out of his hands. And then they might have been out of bounds when they were battling for a loose ball. I think they battled for a little jump ball, but I think the York player had his foot on the baseline. That should give Oak Ridge the ball.
And it does.
Wildcat ball underneath the goal, leading 18-5, a minute 8 to play in the first period. Bryson gets it, pulls up and shoots, no good. Grayson on the rebound, comes down with it to Thomas, great pass. Inside for the shot, blocked, but a foul is going to be called, and that'll send Caden Brightheart. Caden, you probably, thinking back to last year, we had that phenomenal senior class with the Updegrass and Lucas Searcy. I went through them earlier. Caden got some playing time, mainly later on in ball games when the Wildcats were way up. He's a guy that's really going to be a big factor, I think, this year for the Wildcats. He's quick. He never smiles. That's one thing. I'd love to see Caden Breithart smile a little bit. He is business, business, business all the time. A good little basketball player for the Wildcats. I can't wait to see how his junior year is going to go. He missed the first free throw. We'll have another one, though.
Yeah, he's quick and he's aggressive, David.
Missed both free throws, rebounded that time by Wattenbarger. Down the floor will come number 14, Blaine York in the rear court, picked up now by Marcus Peters. Wildcats reach in. We might have a foul against either Thomas or Peters. And it'll be indeed their basketball side court. Wildcats in the lead, 18-5, 54.4 seconds. And it comes to Jackson Canaster. Canaster is a junior player for Rodney Piles' York team. He dribbles out. We're down to 47 seconds to play in the first period. Mark and Shauna Hayes doing our technical work. This coming Monday, the Lady Wildcats will be in action at Pigeon Forge High School against CAK. The boys' next game after tonight as they work the ball down low, trying to get it into Wattenbarger. He turns, he spins, his shot is short. Grayson Strader has the rebound. Grayson heading for a double-double the way he started out the first quarter here with another rebound.
Yeah, he's having a fine game, David. As I said, I think they're going to have a hard time defending him.
16 seconds and counting. Grayson with it, top of the circle. Strader thought about a three. Gives it off to Comer. Out to Quez. Nice pass inside to Grayson. He'll turn. He'll kick it back out once again. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. Wildcats three-pointer on its way. It's up. No good. As the Wildcats head to the second quarter with an 18-5 lead. Good start for Oak Ridge. They lead York 18-5. We'll take a break. We're at the Wildcat Arena. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty. I'm a proud graduate of Oak Ridge High School, class of 1982, and a member of the 1980 state championship football team. As a lifelong resident of Oak Ridge, I would love to put my knowledge of the area to work for you should you have any real estate needs. You can contact me at 865-919-5559 or at BetsyColemanRealty.com. Thank you, and roll Wildcats roll.
A winning tradition defines Oak Ridge Wildcats basketball. At Mortgage Investors Group, we pride ourselves in the same winning tradition to help your family find the perfect mortgage loan. Call Norma Sheldon, Jackie Pullen, Shannon Ochiltree, Mandy Henry, Darren Osborne at 865-482-8910 or visit us online at mortgageinvestorsgroup.com. Tennessee Mortgage License Number 109111. MIG is an equal housing lender.
David Clary back here along with Mark and Shauna Hayes. As I mentioned, the next boys game will be on Tuesday. The Wildcats will take on South Doyle at Sevier County, 6 o'clock. The girls will follow at 7:30 against South Doyle at Sevier County. This is very confusing. The girls are going to play in Pigeon Forge, CAK, on Monday. Tuesday, the boys and girls are going to play South Doyle at Sevier County. Wednesday, the guys will play a 1 o'clock ball game against Cott County, and that game will be back at Pigeon Forge. So a lot of jostling back and forth between Pigeon Forge High School and Sevier County. Second quarter just underway. The Wildcats up 20-5 after one quarter. Second quarter underway. The Wildcats come out with Caden Breithart along with Ray Watson. Here's a shot missed for the Wildcats. The original starting five in there for Oak Ridge: Watson, Strader, Breithart, Hammonds, and Scott. Their basketball. Work the ball. Here's the deflection by Hammond, saved away by Oak Ridge. The Wildcats should have a layup. Here it is, left-handed off the glass, good by the sophomore Raekwon Watson, and the Wildcats lead it now 22-5. Here comes York down the floor, moving right to left. Caden almost with another steal. The Wildcats just harassing them everywhere they go. This is a team that made it to the state championship ball game a year ago, losing to Milan in the title ball game. I wanted to see Coach Powell turning that team. Of course, they're a double-A school, but in basketball, it doesn't really matter. If you've got 5 good players, Mark, you can play basketball against any level, anytime.
Oh, yeah. And that's the difference between basketball and football. It takes a lot more players to field a team in football than it does in basketball.
I remember several years ago, and here's a steal by Caden Brightheart. He's going to drive down the floor, stop on the right block, pull up and shoot it. No good. Hammonds battles for the rebound, can't get it. Pulled down by Oak Ridge, right back up with it. It's up, and it's good. And I didn't see who hit the shot there.
It was Brightheart.
Brightheart having a phenomenal. Here's another steal and another layup. This one's by Grayson Strader, and Coach Pyle is seeing the points piling up for Oak Ridge, and he calls another timeout. We'll take it with him. Oak Ridge currently in the lead, 26-5 over York. Back in 30 seconds.
How do you say the name? Tien Bank?
No.
Tin Bank? So what is it?
Ten Bank. 10, as in Tennessee. Right here where all our banking decisions are made. Not some corporate office in who knows where. 10 Bank partners with small businesses in our community to help them grow.
Really?
Yes. That's local banking from 10 Bank.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back once again to the Wildcat Arena. The Wildcats on top, 26-5. Getting a lot of questions here about how we're going to do broadcasts, and I'll talk more about that at halftime. Hopefully, Coach Taylor will come up and talk to me. It was not a nice night for the Wildcats. It was good for about 3.5 quarters, but then in the fourth quarter, as we've got a travel, I believe, called against the York Institute Dragons. The Lady Wildcats were defeated 55-47. The guys are up 26-5 right now. Raekwon Watson drives in the paint, and as he makes his approach, he is fouled. I'm going to answer these questions. I'm getting a ton of texts here about how we're going to broadcast. We're going to broadcast all of the away games on FM 92.7. We're going to stream as many away games and home games as we can. As Lucas Hammonds takes one off the glass, and it's now 28-5. So we're going to stream every ball game where we're allowed to on our Prep Radio channel. So if you've got friends and family or Oak Ridge basketball fans, tell them to subscribe to our channel. Here's a block shot and a foul called against Oak Ridge, because we're going to stream as many as we can. Some teams don't let us. Some teams don't let us stream. Dobbins Bennett won't let us do it, and Pal's not going to allow us to stream this coming Friday in the football game because they're part of the NFHS network. They could have said they'll allow us to. They have exclusives, but if they wanted to let us, they could have, but they're not, as that free throw is good. We're going to be on prepradio.com. We're going to be on Channel 15 all season long as well. I hope that answers all the questions I'm getting here. Wildcat basketball. Ray with the basketball, top of the circle, dribbles to the free throw line, dribbles to the line, takes it off the glass. Is he not so similar to Kel and Marcus and LeVert, the point guards that we've had in the last few years? Not very tall, very quick, though.
Yeah, I like his speed, David. He's just so explosive down there that, they tried to do a back tip on him, but he was gone before they could even blink.
30-7 Oak Ridge, 5:49 to play in the second period. Their basketball. Here comes Blaine York, launches a three. It's good. 3-point shot by Blaine York, and the Wildcat lead is 20. 30-10. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. A three-pointer bombed in. Good. Caden Brightheart.
Brightheart now with 12 points, David.
5:30 to play second quarter. Here comes York down the floor. Here's another steal by Brightheart. He has the ball ripped out of his hands. Never really had good control of it. Here comes York back the other way. Number 32 for them, Heath Wattenbarger. They work for a shot along the baseline. It's up good by a big kid who's in the ball game. And here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. 33-12 the score. Wildcats in the lead. 5:09 to play second period. Brennan Scott with the basketball. Works it down low inside to Hammonds. Here comes a shot by Grayson Strader. He missed that one. Rebounded by York. 4:59 to play in the first half. 33-12 the score. Bounce pass down low. Hammonds trying to defend along the block. They pull around. They shoot off the rim. No good. Rebounded by Brightheart. I've been saying Brightheart's name all over and all the time here. The Wildcats working in. Brennan Scott pulls up and shoots. Guns it. No good. Grayson Strader on the rebound. Wanted to go right back up with it. He is tied up. A jump ball. The alternate possession arrow will give the ball to the purple and gold. 4:38 to play second quarter. Oak Ridge on top, 33-12. Lots of plots and lots of players have gotten in the ball game. Here comes Marcus Peters, number 3. Marcus, 6 foot, 160 pounder. I told people who were watching, you're going to have to get a roster. Maybe I'll have to post that someplace because this is a totally different team from a year ago. There were only a few guys that even saw action on this varsity roster, and I'll go through those in a minute as they put up a shot from 3 range, no good. Marcus Peters on the rebound. Here they come. The pace is so fast, Mark, I can't really talk as Peters turns the ball over, saved away by York, and they get a layup on the other end. Last year on the varsity, the only ones who actually saw time last year was Grayson Strader, Bryson Comer, Brennan Scott. Here's a shot up, no good by the Wildcats. And that's it. Those are the only guys, Caden Brightarp, I'm sorry, the only guys that actually saw varsity action. There's a 3, and all of a sudden, a bit of a run here by the York Dragons. It's 33-17, 3:48 to play first half. York drives in. His shot is a little bit short. Rebounded again. There's a big fight. A little quick jump ball is called. The alternate possession arrow to Oak Ridge. Not much experience as we've got a new player in the ball game. That is Shamar Green, number 2, 6'5", 190-pound sophomore. Very raw player, Mark. Still has a lot of growing and learning to do about what they want to do offensively and defensively. But he's got some size, and I think eventually he'll be a factor for the Wildcats. He's only a sophomore player.
He appears to be the tallest player on the team. Is that true?
I would think so. In fact, until I guess Cooper comes. Well, Shamar's 6'5", Cooper's about 6'4", and he'll be joining us after football year. There's another turnover. Wildcats have seen their lead shrink down to 33-17, but as we've said, Coach Green's playing everybody, and not. As they get another shot up, it's up no good, but another foul is going to be called, and Coach Green either he doesn't like the call, or he doesn't like his defenders the way he defended. It'll be number 32. I think that's Heath Wattenbarger, junior player, going to the free throw line for York. Free throw is good.
Wattenbarger now with 6 points, David. He's perfect from the line. He's now 3 of 3. That foul was assessed against Comer.
Now 33-19. Down the floor with the basketball will come Oak Ridge once again. Here it goes. Brennan Scott dribbles the ball off his foot. Let's see if they give it to you. Yep, they are. A little bit too quick, trying to do too much dribbling there, and Brennan turns the ball over. 3:11 to play. It's 33-19. Wildcats were up big earlier, up by 21 points, actually 23 points at one point, 28-5. But it's been all York here in the last few moments of the second quarter. Wildcats do get a steal, and they're going to get the basketball. And Oak Ridge will get it right to the side of the bench of the York Dragons. 33-19 Wildcats. Marcus Peters works it into Green. Green out to Comer, backdoor to Peters. Can't control the pass. The Wildcats had a good play set up, but the pass went off the fingertips of Marcus Peters.
Yeah, I really did like that play. It's kind of a give and go, but, just from the perimeter, really.
Down the floor will come York once again, quickly. It will come number 2. The Wildcats set a trap up high. They work the ball right side of Wattenbarger. Wattenbarger drives in, runs over the Wildcat, and that's going to be an offensive player control foul. Good defense, again, set up that time by Bryson Comer.
Yeah, it's the second charge he's taken tonight. All the years I've watched Coach Green's teams, he loves to have people set up to receive the charging call down there in the post.
I think back to James Michael, who played for
as that. We're a one-stop shop. We'll sell and install gas appliances for our customers and make it easy to add to your bill with our 0% interest financing. Plus, you can save over $1,000 on your annual utility bills when you switch to natural gas for heating, cooking, and clothes drying. Comfort you can feel, savings you can use. ORUD Natural Gas. Visit our showrooms in Oak Ridge, Kingston, and our virtual showroom at ORUD.org.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know your insurance agent's name? Does your agent know your name? Or do you call a 1-800 number that connects you with someone in another state, maybe even another country? Why not call Fox Insurance Group in Oak Ridge, your local independent insurance agency with auto owners insurance? We're someone you can call when stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. This is Todd Fox. Visit Fox Insurance Group in Oak Ridge at grayfoxins.com.
Welcome back to the Wildcat Arena. David and Mark and Shauna Hayes with us here. 1:53 to play, second quarter. Oak Ridge on top, 33-21. Brennan Scott to the free throw line. Free throw is up, and it is no good. Brennan, usually a pretty good free throw shooter. He's going to be counted on to play a lot more minutes, and he's got to play on both ends of the floor. We know he can shoot. As that free throw is up and good. He's got to get those other parts of his game going. Of course, his dad was a good player in Ronnie Scott.
He was. He was, a very explosive player and a good three-point shooter.
Here comes York down the floor, and they're going to turn the ball over. It's going to be another jump ball. The alternate possession arrow will give them the ball. 13-point lead for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge has led bigger leads earlier. 1:41 to play in the first half. 34-21 the score. Here comes a kickball by Quez out of bounds. They're going to say it was last touched by Quez. It'll be York basketball. 1:39 to play, second quarter, 34-21. The girls lost 55-47. I don't know if Coach Taylor's going to come up and speak to me or not at halftime. She might have forgotten. We haven't done it in a year. Here's the pass, nearly deflected and intercepted, saved away, and then a blocking foul is going to be called, I think, against Caden Brightheart. Wildcats currently having the ball game. Brennan Scott, he is number 10 if you're watching it on the YouTube. Number 0 is Quez Thomas. Number 4 is Grayson Strader. Number 5 is Bryson Comer. Number 20 is Caden Brightheart. And the guy going to the line is a junior, number 2, Jackson Canaster.
Canaster yet to score tonight, David, as Wildcats substitute in Ray again. Out will go Brightheart.
To the free throw line will go Canaster. Canaster's free throw is good. And it's, I guess, another one, I think. I don't know. I guess they thought he either made a shot, but they only gave him one. Oak Ridge was smart, and even the York Dragons were heading back to the other end of the floor.
Yeah, what was interesting was the shooter was the only one that knew that he had 2 shots. Everybody else was clueless.
Back to the free throw line he goes, and it's now 34-23. Down to an 11-point game. The Wildcats were at one time up 23 points. But Oak Ridge has played a lot of players getting that rotation set here, and York's a good team. You knew they'd settle down. Raekwon Watson with it, drives the baseline, kicks it out to Brennan Scott for 3. Good. 3-point shot. Great ball mover right there. Ray passed up a layup and kicked it out to his junior teammate who nailed the 3.
Yeah, that looked kind of like a Kentucky ball there, David. As you said, he had a perfectly good layup he could have taken there, but he kicked it out very generously to Brennan Scott, who nails the 3-pointer.
1:13 to play, second quarter, 37-32. Oak Ridge by 15. Grayson Strader with it to Thomas. Wes getting a lot of playing time, and they're going to call a hook or some kind of an offensive foul against Quez, I believe, and that's an offensive player control foul against him, or was it against Grayson Strader?
It was actually against Comer, and they did not like the pick that he set.
He's a big boy. Here's a steal on the inbounds. Wildcats have it. Here it goes to Ray. Ray inside to Brennan Scott. The ball kicked out by York. 1:01 to play, second quarter, 37-22. Oak Ridge by 15. Wildcats Brennan Scott will work the ball in. Raekwon Watson's in the right corner. Grayson Strader catches it at the free throw line extended. And it goes to Brennan. And what's the call here?
Comer again, I believe.
These guys, it's the first ball game. And I guess maybe they're being told to look for certain things. We've had several player control fouls away from the ball called in this one.
Yeah, I think, Coach Green's we'll be speaking with Comer to let him know what he's doing, what he needs to do to correct that.
Down the floor will come York, 50 seconds to play, 37-22 the score. There was no junior varsity ball game today. Here comes York for three, off the rim, no good. Rebound by Strader. Strader's got a ton of rebounds. I'll be happy to see those stats after the ball game. Grayson thought about shooting a three. He's got that range. He's going to drive in for a shorter shot, and it's good. Grayson Strader looks so good tonight.
Yeah, he does. As I said, David, I think they're going to have a really hard time defending him, and he has 10 points in the ball game.
Here comes a shot missed, rebounded by Oak Ridge. Lucas Hammonds has the basketball. Hammonds with it down the left side to Ray Ray. Ray Ray sets it up once again. His name is Raekwon Watson, 5'10", 160-pounder, but his friends call him Ray Ray. He's my friend because he's a good basketball player. We'll call him Ray Ray. Grayson Strader for three, good. 3-point shot. How many points does Grayson have?
He now has 13 points, David, as the first half comes to a close with the Wildcats up 20.
Yeah, just like that, they had cut the lead down to almost single digits, but the Wildcats with a great little flurry here at the end. Bomb the three in and indeed lead by 20 points, 42-22. Waiting for Coach Taylor to join us here, and I have yet to see her make her way. Yes, here she is. She is going to speak to me. Let's get the mic set here, and we'll speak to the head coach of the Oak Ridge High School Lady Wildcats, Coach Paige Taylor. Coach, I was going to say congratulations on your opening game win. You're facing a York team tonight that was a quarterfinal team a year ago at the state tournament. They brought a lot of size, some great ball handling, some good rebounding, some good shooters, a very solid team. I thought for about 3 quarters, you played some pretty good solid basketball. The fourth quarter had a few letdowns, far too many turnovers, and I know just by kind of watching, a lot of times your girls were caught flat-footed defensively too, and I think we're surprised by the quickness of these girls from York, and they made some big plays down the stretch. Your team did not, rushed a few shots late, turned the ball over late, and you end up losing the ball game 55-47. Your thoughts on the game tonight?
I thought we did a lot of things really, really well. I think we competed, like you said. I think we competed. There were times when we didn't compete. When we didn't compete, it was obvious. I think we played a team, and we knew this coming in. I watched film on them from the state tournament last year when they beat Gatlinburg-Pittman in overtime. And then I watched a film on a scrimmage this year that they've already had, and we knew coming in that when they were going to be super, super physical. And we knew that they know this team has fight in them, and they know how to win. And you saw that, they got down 11, and they didn't change their demeanor. They actually, what changed was their level of effort, and they amped it up. And I feel like we made some mental mistakes defensively, and we made a few things offensively, some bad decisions here and there. I felt at times when we shared the basketball, we looked really good on offense. We had some really great possessions defensively. I mean, that you said it. I mean, they have great ball handlers. They share the ball extremely well. They have a very high basketball IQ. They're a very fundamental basketball team, and we handled a lot of what they had. We just didn't handle enough.
Coach, as you mentioned, this team's got a lot of experience. You've got a lot of experience, but you're still young. You've got one senior, and that's Cannon Green. She's the only senior on the roster here, and you only have a couple of juniors, Demetria Strickland and Bella Boone. Other than that, you've just got sophomores and some freshmen on your overall program. So, despite the talent level, you're still a young basketball team.
Yeah, I mean, we're super young, and that's you talk about no one on this basketball team has played in a state tournament. No one on this, the only person that's even seen the Oak Ridge Lady Wildcats probably play in a state tournament and be around it, it's Cannon, just being younger, watching the teams that have been before them. And so they like that experience, like we've got to get past, our goal is not to, yes, our goal is to win a district tournament. Yes, our goal is to win a region championship. Our goal is to play for a state championship and win a state championship. And it is a super young team. When you've got 14 players total and only 3 of those are juniors and seniors. There's still a lot of growth to be had. I've seen a ton of maturity between last season, the end of last season, and over the summer and start the season. But still, the nice thing is that the ceiling is still super, super high because of the youth and the experience. But my expectations are, I'm not going to lower my expectations. My expectations are we're going to compete and we're going to win. And that's what we talked a lot about is digging down a little bit deeper. Like that's a team that when they were second win in the third quarter, that team was, and that's when we went up on them. And I saw number one, you've got a floor general out there, number one, your point guard. And I saw her look at all of them and tell them, like, we got to go, we got to dig deeper. And they did, they found it. And we've got to find that.
Coach, your next ball game is Monday, and I've got it scheduled, I guess, against CAK. It's going to be at Pigeon Forge High School, and then you'll play the next day at Sevier County against South Doyle. CAK is another team. I'm sure that'll be tough to play, and your first road game this coming Monday.
Yeah, CAK, I think we played them this summer. They're, again, another very fundamental, high IQ basketball team. That's going to be a tough game for us. We've got our work cut out for us, and I think it's really good to right out of the gate to give us this experience. We're shorthanded right now, but these girls are getting a ton of experience, and that's going to pay off in the long run.
Coach, I'll let you go here. Just your final comments on this game tonight.
I don't want to be negative. I don't want to say negative things, but I could pinpoint out some negative things, but there's a ton of positive from this game, and we got to take the positive and we got to grow from it.
Coach, thanks a lot. We'll see you in Pigeon Forge.
Thank you.
This is Paige Taylor, head coach of the Lady Wildcats. They fall tonight to a really, really good York team, 55-47 the score. Mark has completed the stats of the boys' game. We'll let him run those down. We'll run down the girls' game as well. Oak Ridge on top of the half here, 42-22. Mark?
Thanks very much, David. Leading scorer for the Wildcats, Grayson Strader. He has 13 points in the first half. He's 5 of 6 in twos and 1 of 2 from three-point land with 7 points. Is Brennan Scott. He's 2 of 3 from three-point land and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Caden Brightheart with 12 points. He's, 3 of 7 in twos, 2 of 2 from threes, and 0 of 2 from the free throw line. Scoring also for the Wildcats, Lucas Hammond started, has 4 points for the Wildcats. He's 2 of 6 from the field, also with 4 points. Ray Watson, he's 2 of 6 from the field. And then Bryson Comer came off the bench. He's added 2 points. He's 1 of 4 from the field. And that rounds out the scoring for the Wildcats. As a team, they were 18 of 39 from the field. They were 13 of 32 in twos, 5 of 7 in threes, and 1 of 4 from the free throw line. Now looking at York, they're led in scoring by, number 31, Zach Bird. He has 8 points. He's 4 of 6 from the field, 7 points added by Wattenbarger. He's 1 of 2 from three-point land, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 6 points added by Blaine York. I'll refer to him as York's York. He has 6 points, as I said, 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and then 2 points added by Jackson Canaster. He is 2 of 2 from the free throw line. So as a team, the York Dragons are 7 of 18 from the field. They're 5 of 12 in twos, 2 of 6 in threes, and 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Wildcats led at the end of the first quarter, 20-5, and then outscored York 22-17 in the second quarter to take a halftime lead of 42-22. Earlier tonight, Lady Wildcats fell to the Dragonettes of York. Looking at the statistics of that game, Oak Ridge led in scoring by Ayanna Porter. She fouled out with 119 in the ball game, but she finished with 16 points. She was 4 of 9 from the field, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 13 points for Demetria Strickland. She was 4 of 11 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, also in double figures for the Wildcats. Jenna Johnson, she fouled out with 2.6 seconds on the clock. She had 10 points, 4 of 9 from the field. 8 points added by Zayana Stewart, 3 of 9 from the field, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, and then 1 point added by Bella Boone and 1 point by Cannon Green. Leading scorer for the Dragonettes was Reese Beatty. She had a fine night, 25 points for her. 2 individuals with 10 points. That would be Emmy Crabtree and Gabby Beatty. 8 points added by Emma Cooper and 2 points by Emily Doss. The Lady Wildcats were tied at the end of the first quarter, 8-8. They outscored the Dragonettes 14-12 in the second quarter to take a 22-20 lead at half. Then they opened up the lead in the third quarter, outscoring the Dragonettes 15-10. But then in the fourth quarter, as I said earlier, they were outscored 25-10 by the Dragonettes, and that's how the Dragonettes defeat the Lady Wildcats on the Lady Wildcats home court by a score of 55-47. David?
Mark, what I think is interesting, obviously Ted Mitchell is a member of the Oak Ridge High School basketball coaching staff. He's also a member of the Oak Ridge football coaching staff. He is in double duty right now as the Wildcat boys basketball team leads by 20. The football team plays Powell in the third round coming up on Friday. So I hope Ted's getting paid double right now.
Yeah, I mean, people who do, both sports, and they, the kind of the technical lead, they do the stats, they, do the stream. I mean, those people are rare.
Yeah, but you get paid so high. I mean, your salary is just enormous, Mark Hayes. And I know Shauna, wow, she's skyrocketing with her salary as well.
Yeah, we've definitely peaked.
Here comes Oak Ridge with the basketball as we start play here in the second half. Caden Brightheart's going to get a layup right out of the chute, and foul's going to be called, and they're going to call another away from the ball foul, I think, against Ray Ray. This team obviously has been told to look for such things because that's another player control foul against Oak Ridge.
Oh, nice steal by Brennan Scott, David, as he comes down the other way, gives it over to Ray Ray. Ray, nice left-handed layup.
Pick up your mic just a little bit louder here. It's now 44-22. The Wildcats down the floor. Here comes a shot. It's going to be up and good. They scored. It's now 44-24, back to a 20-point game. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor with Raekwon Watson. Watson top of the key, off to Grayson Strader, to Lucas Hammonds on the left block. Pokes inside to Caden Brightheart, but kicks the ball back out to Watson. Around to Brennan Scott. Brennan drives in, pulls up, shoots. Shot is good. Brennan shot, a great shooter, and he likes to shoot, and he likes to lock him down, and he does again, and Brennan's having a fine game too.
Yeah, Brennan now with 9 points, David, as the Wildcats extend the lead 46-24.
Here's another steal. Grayson Strader with it in the paint, almost stripped to the ball. It is. The ball is loose on the floor. One of my memories of Brennan Scott, here's a steal by Ray. I can't even tell stories here. Ray Way is going to drive in. And the ball ripped out of his hands, taken on the floor once again by York. They'll launch a three. It's up, no good. Rebounded again by Watson. Watson down the floor quickly. I'm not going to take a break next time. I'm going to tell my story. Here's a three-point shot. Good. On the outside, this time by Caden Brightheart.
Brightheart now with 15 points, David, as the Dragons come the other way. They'll pull up for a three. It's no good. Rebounded by York. The shot back up, no good.
Wildcat lead is up to 25. Its biggest point of the night. And there's a shot. It's up, and it's good for them. 49-26. My story that I want to tell about Brennan Scott, my first kind of meeting of Brennan Scott, we were at the Arby's Classic a long time ago, and there's going to be probably an offensive foul called against Lucas Hammonds. And that is the case. Lucas,
that was a flop. I think Coach Green even recognized that one was a flop.
Back to my story about Brendan Scott. We were at Arby's, the Arby's Classic, and I did not have a camera guy. I asked Coach Scott if he could find somebody who could do camera. So he said, well, my son's free. So this little guy, he's, I'm a short guy, but he came up probably not even to my shoulders, and he did camera for us. And that's the first time I met Brendan. Such a nice kid. And I'm glad to see him having success on the basketball court. Here's a three-point shot up. Good. I finally got the story out. Brendan Scott, nice kid, helped us out when he was about 10 years old. Here's another three. This one's up by the Wildcats, Brendan Scott. So just on cue, he makes a big shot. Down the floor once again, York. Back and forth we go. Here's an air ball shot by them. The rebound putback is no good. Rebounded by the Wildcats. Here comes Watson down the floor. Ray left extension of the free throw line. Shot is up, and it's no good. You talk about a furious pace. We saw this in the first quarter, Mark, and Coach Green had to bring a ton of players in as play is halted here. This one is up and down the floor.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if they called the timeout or if you did, David.
I think I did because I would like a little bit of a break here. The guys are up 52-29, headed what appears to be their first win of the year, playing tough against a team that played all the way to the state championship game a year ago before losing to Milan last year. And I don't know how many they had left. As I mentioned, I meant to talk to Coach Powell about that. But either way, I just love this group. Coach Green, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we graduated our top 6 guys from a year ago. It doesn't matter. The next guy up, and that's the mentality. And we're up 52-29, and he just let them have it down there on the floor. And that's why Oak Ridge basketball has been so good under his leadership. Next man up, we've got a brand new team, and they're up 52-29.
Well, as I said, David, I mean, his system is so fast-paced. I mean, people, his players, get conditioned to it as they, are in their underclassmen years. But it's exactly what you said. When it's your turn, I mean, you know what to do. I mean, they go over it hard in practice every day.
Their basketball, the Wildcats pressuring in the rear court. They're going to get the ball across the line quickly, and then the ball goes bounding out of bounds. Last touch by York. Oak Ridge's pressure just caused them to just heave one across the floor, and they couldn't get to it. The Wildcats have Caden Brighthart in the ball game. Ray Watson in the ball game. The Wildcats also have, looks like Marcus Peters is in there, Grayson Strader, and Brennan Scott. Ray driving in. Free throw line jumper is good. And the guy can shoot. Does he not remind you of Kel? It's almost like it's just Kel wearing another body with another name.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know if I'd say another body. I mean, even their body structures look very similar. The way that they carry themselves are very similar.
Another whistle blew, and then it'll be York basketball side court. 4:39 to play third quarter, 54-29 the score. York drives in. That's a nice drive right through the Oak Ridge defense, and it's 54-31. Here comes Oak Ridge quickly back the other way. Brennan in the paint, throws one up there. Will it count? I think they're going to count it, and the foul's going to be called. Nice little drive there, and that is something that Brennan needs to do and has worked on. He loves to sit outside the arc and shoot threes, but we need him to do exactly what he did right there, and that is drive and take it to the rim.
Yeah, that's the thing that I noticed last Tuesday when I watched their scrimmages. We really do need him to be able to penetrate. You just make so many things happen when you're able to penetrate like that.
57-31 Wildcats, 4:19 to play. They launch a three, hits the rim, no good. Grayson Strader again on the rebound for the Wildcats. Down it goes to Caden Brighthart. Brighthart looks for help, gives it off to Watson. Raekwon Watson dribbles him all the way to the paint, all the way to the rack, goes in and scores. They let him drive there, Mark, and he took it right to the hole.
He now in double figures with 10 points, David, as the Wildcats lead 59-31 with just under 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Here comes York down the floor. They'll drive in the paint. There's a strip of the ball taken away by Oak Ridge, saved by Marcus Peters. Let's get Marcus in the scoring as the ball's knocked out of bounds. I thought it was last touched by Jackson Canasser, but they're going to say it was last touched by Strader. 3:44 to play third quarter. Oak Ridge on top, 59-39. This was the way to start season. I know that I don't know if you really listened to what Coach Taylor was telling me, Mark, but she actually didn't want to say anything negative. She saw a lot of things good. I think most people will be disappointed that they lost the ball game to a team, to some around here who've never heard of them, but that was a good basketball team, and she thought it was a positive that they played hard and they just, and had the game for 3 quarters, were right with them, just didn't show the same kind of fire. She saw more positives than negatives, is what she told me.
That's good. I appreciate a positive outlook. And so, that's really good.
Lucas Hammonds is back in the ball game. Also coming back into the ball game for the Wildcats is Cameron McCullough. He's number 15 if you're watching the stream. And here's the shot. It's good. And back the other way will come McCullough. McCullough's going to bring the ball across the line and gives it off to Breithardt. Breithardt, top of the circle. 59-34 Wildcats. 3:16 to play third quarter. Hammonds to McCullough. Works the ball to Breithardt. Gets the screen. Hammonds still dribbles in. Gives it off to Breithardt. Goes in for the shots. Blocked. They're going to call a quick foul against York, and that's going to send, I think, Oak Ridge to the free throw line. Person fouled is Caden Breithardt. What has he done tonight?
I'm sorry, I was recording that. Who are you asking for? Breithardt?
Just what Caden's done.
Caden, he has 15 points, 0 of 2 from the free throw line, so still waiting to connect from the free throw line. With this opportunity, he does. So now he has 16 points in the ballgame as the Wildcats lead 60-34.
The scrimmages I saw the Wildcats participate in were against East Hamilton and Walker Valley, 2 very athletic teams. A little different from this team. This is a more fundamentally sound team. Those 2 teams were very athletic. The scrimmage that you saw, I think you saw Anderson County, Greenville, and I forgot the other team. Hey, you were there. You got to remember.
Yeah. It was the first one. I can't remember right now. It'll come to me.
Well, my whole point was, they've scrimmaged all kinds of different kinds of teams, athletic teams, fundamentally sound teams, and rivalry teams, if you call Anderson County a rival. And that's why you want to scrimmage. You want to get the best kind of looks from your team against different kinds of teams to get them ready for the season. And I thought the scrimmages that they had were very beneficial. If you remember the Greenville team just a few years ago, as the Wildcats, Lucas Hammonds goes in for a shot. It's off the rim, no good. And they're going to call an over a back foul called against the Wildcats. If you remember that Greenville team, they beat us over at Alcoa in that Christmas tournament, that hastily set up Christmas tournament because of COVID, and they went all the way to the state championship.
Well, I also remember, David, that Anderson County was the only loss that we had in the district just a few years ago.
Right. So, I mean, I just like the teams that he scheduled. We won 4 of the 5. I think the only game we lost was that first game, I believe.
Yes, it was. Yeah, they got better as a night. That's the team that I can't remember who we played.
I know, that's why I keep asking you.
Yeah, it's bothering me.
Yeah, 2:34 to play third quarter. Oak Ridge on top, 61-34. Oak Ridge boys' next ball game will be coming up Tuesday. It'll be a 6 o'clock ball game at Sevier County High School against South Doyle, and the girls will play the nightcap at 7:30. Wow, Wes passed up a layup. Kicks it out to Hammonds, who missed a shot. It goes inside. Nice pass. Shot is blocked, though. It's going to be a personal foul called against, I believe, Heath Wattenbarger, and that's going to send Caden Breithardt to the line. Okay, Mark, I mean, you've gotten a chance to see them in scrimmages, and you've gotten to see them in this ball game. Who are the most improved players that you've seen, and who have you been most impressed with so far for the Wildcats?
Strader, I really like to see how far he's come from last year. Comer also has come quite a ways, but the most surprise I'm seeing is Ray Watson, David. He's a very fine player. I did not see him play at all last year, and Stone Memorial was the first team that we played on Tuesday.
Who told you?
My wonderful, wonderful wife.
Okay. Gavin Johnson has come into the ball game for the first time tonight. So the Wildcats have used about everybody who's available on the bench here tonight so far, as there's a shot. It's up no good. Rebounded by the Dragons. Here's a block shot by Oak Ridge. Big block by the Wildcats. Shamar Green's in the ball game. Quez Thomas, Cameron McCullough is in the ball game. Caden Brightheart's still in. Somebody else I'm missing is the Wildcats drive in for a shot. No good. Rebounded back up. No good. Caden Haddock pulled away by Wattenbarger. Minute 53 to play here in the third period. 61-36 Wildcats. Here comes York, and here's a steal by the Wildcats. Taken on the floor momentarily by number 14, Gavin Johnson. Gavin is 5'11", 150-pound sophomore. That freshman team and that junior varsity team, I think the junior varsity, if memory serves me correctly, they went undefeated last year. And a lot of these sophomores who were on the freshman team a year ago were on that team. So they've gotten a lot. They've gotten a lot of opportunities to play a lot of basketball. I think a lot of those freshmen not only played in the freshman ball games, they played in the JV games as well. So they've seen a lot of basketball action, just not a lot of varsity action. And they don't appear to be nervous at all. Even the guys like the senior Lucas Hammonds, who hasn't played since his freshman year, he looks a little bit out of sorts. I mean, it's a different kind of a game for him, but I think for the most part, the poise and normally what you see at a first ball game is, it's a lot of hot dogging because they're just excited to have their first ball game. Haven't seen that in this ball game. I think it's been a very well controlled, very well played team by about 14 guys who've gotten in the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive how deep we've gotten into the bench tonight, David. As you said, all the sophomores and I guess no freshmen, but sophomore. We've gotten down to sophomores tonight in the game. As I guess is Comer. Is he a senior? Is he the only senior on the floor right now?
Yeah, he's a senior and one of the only couple. Grayson Strader's a senior, and that's it. Those are the only seniors that we have on this strateam that played a year ago. Lucas Hammonds is a senior. He did not play, so the Wildcats only have a total of 3 seniors on the roster: Hammonds, Strader, and Comer. The rest are sophomores and juniors, which is great for the future. York basketball, minute 33 to play in the third period. It's been all Oak Ridge. The Wildcats led 20-5 after one quarter, 42-22 at the halfway mark, and they're up 61-36 right now. Now 61-38. So another little run being made by the York Dragons, but the Wildcats comfortably ahead in this one. 23-point lead. McCullough pulls up and shoots, and before that, whistle blew. And Mark, what happened?
I think another illegal pick or a screen that the referees did not appreciate.
Well, things happen. Like I said, it almost looks like they've been told to look for certain things, and this crew is definitely looking for certain things as they drive in for a shot. That's a great drive. It might be an opportunity for three-point play for the junior Heath Wattenbarger. We're streaming this game on our YouTube channel. If you have relatives who, if you're, have family members who are part of this Oak Ridge program or just fans of Oak Ridge, the best thing to do is subscribe to our channel, because when you subscribe to our channel, you'll get updates when we go live. When we do basketball, we do football, as Gavin Johnson missed a 3 there, rebounded by York. We're also on prepradio.com. Later on, we're with FM 92.7. Blocked by the Wildcats out of bounds. Their basketball underneath the go. We'll be on FM 92.7, FM 94.7. So there's a lot of ways you can follow the Wildcats and Lady Wildcats this year. And we appreciate our sponsors as they have trouble getting the ball in, and then they throw the ball away. Fox Insurance Group, Overthrow, Tennessee, Oak Ridge Utility District, Mortgage Investors Group, Laura Lynn Green with State Farm Insurance, Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty, and 10 Bank of Oak Ridge. Plus, we're still looking for individual sponsors to help. We're a 3-man operation. I've got some kids that help us out as Thomas launches a shot, except no good. But for the most part, it's me, Shauna, and Mark in basketball season. And, we've got we're on a lot of mediums, and we could use your help. And we'd love for you to subscribe to us. It just makes it much easier. Then you'll know when we're on. And our next broadcast will be Friday, obviously, with the football game. We'll be not streaming that ball game. We're down to 25 seconds to play. Oak Ridge up by 20. We were up by 30 a few moments ago. But, Coach Green's got to get these guys some playing time for sure.
Yeah, he does. As to the line is York, where he's now 2 of 3 from the free throw line. As I'm trying to get organized here myself, as he hit both of them.
61-43 the score, 22 seconds to play. Cameron McCullough down the floor with the basketball. It goes out to Bryson Comer, back to McCullough, to Gavin Johnson. Johnson dribbles in. Harassed, needs help, gives it out to Thomas. Quez, 5'11", 150-pound junior, drives in for the shot. Good. And he's fouled. First varsity buckets, to my memory, by Quez Thomas. In his career, he's been relegated to junior varsity time. He's dressed out a few times, but I don't remember him scoring last year. First 2 points, I believe, here tonight.
Yeah, they're definitely his first points tonight, but I can't speak to as a varsity player.
This shot rebounded by York, almost pulled down by Bryson Comer, and that's the end of the third quarter. So we have played 3 quarters of basketball. The Wildcats were up 20 at the half. They're up 20 after 3 quarters. 63-43 our score. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter following this 60-second timeout.
How do you say the name? Tien Bank?
No.
Kin Bank? So what is it?
Ten Bank. 10, as in Tennessee. Right here where all our banking decisions are made. Not some corporate office in who knows where. 10 Bank partners with small businesses in our community to help them grow.
Really?
Yes. That's local banking from 10 Bank.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
They say that being a coach's wife is hard, but Laura Lynn Green, wife of Oak Ridge head coach Aaron Green, and a local State Farm insurance agent, makes buying insurance easy for you. Auto, homeowners, renters, business, life, health, and much more. Laura Lynn Green's office is located at 136 Marquette Road in Oak Ridge. Give her a call today at 483-5666 or say hello to her courtside at any Oak Ridge High School basketball game. She might be a coach's wife, but she was a Wildcat fan first. For State Farm Insurance, call Laura Lynn Green in Oak Ridge. David Clary, Mark, and Shauna Hayes back here at the Wildcat Arena. Victorious night here for the boys. Unfortunately, the girls fell 55-47, despite 16 points from Ayanna Porter. But Coach Taylor told me she was pleased with just about every aspect of it, except the loss, obviously. And they lost to a really good team, and they'll play CAK on Monday to try to get their first win of the year. York with the basketball. They shoot a 3. It's off the rim. No good. York for York gets the rebound. Kind of like that. I wish I had to come up with that. Ball deflected. Saved on the floor by Cody Bird. Bird flies one over to the right side. On the left block. Turning, spinning, shooting off the glass. Shot good by Zach Bird. 3-45 Oak Ridge. Down the floor, Brennan Scott. Over goes Ray Watson. Grayson Strader's in the ballgame. Lucas Hammonds. Grayson dribbles right extension of the free throw line back to Brennan. Brennan free throw line jumper is good. Nice little jumper there by Brennan. And Oak Ridge now leads 65-45, back to a 20-point lead.
Brennan Scott now with 17 points for the Wildcats, David. He's tied with Brightheart for the most points.
And the lob pass goes over the top of the Oak Ridge defense, and they get an easy bucket, 65-47. Watson with the basketball. He's in the paint. He pulls up. He shoots off the rim. No good. Lucas Hammonds on the rebound. Wants to go right back up with it. Good. Nice hustle. Nice putback offensive rebound. Bucket by Lucas Hammonds.
He really was. He worked hard for that, too. He kind of had to get his balance and get it kind of opening from the defender.
Yeah, here's a left-handed shot. It's up, no good for 3. Rebounded by Lucas. Hammonds with the basketball, gives it off to Ray Watson. Free throw line, kicks the ball to Scott in the corner. He's going to shoot it. Anytime he gets the ball, he's going to shoot it for the most part. As the ball is knocked out of bounds, Grayson can't save it. I think that's probably one thing they would like Brennan to do, is not always shoot the ball all the time. Kind of get your other teammates involved with it. That time probably didn't have the best shot, and it'll be York basketball coming down the floor.
Yeah, a very powerful play from your guards and specifically your point guard would be to drive and dish. I talk about that every year. I just love to see it. It just opens up things. Oh, nice steal by Ray as he takes it down the court with the left hand, puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Hammonds, up, no good. Rebounded by York.
And down the floor they'll come once again. York kicks the ball to the left corner for three, off the rim, no good. Strader on the rebound. Strader getting battled and bombarded by Dragons, and it'll be a foul called against them. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. Oak Ridge up 20, 67-47. Wildcats' next ball game will be Tuesday. That'll be a 6 o'clock game at Sevier County against South Doyle. Wildcats and Cherokees. Lady Wildcats playing at 7:30 as Caden Brightheart gets a nice screen from Lucas Hammonds and a good bucket. There's a nice play by Lucas just to open up the baseline.
It really was. He did that perfectly, David. And Oak Ridge loves to run that play down there where they just kind of do a backside screen by their post.
Here they come once again. York tries to lob it down low, and the ball is ripped away and taken away. And they're going to call, if they call that, surely they won't call an Oak Ridge. I don't think they will. But it was a great play, I thought, by Oak Ridge. And that's I'll just let you sort it out. We got a lot of new bodies coming into the game for the Dragons. Looks like Brody Choate is in the ball game. Cody Bird is coming into the ball game, and they did call the foul against Oak Ridge. There was contact there, but I think it was really more of a better positioning by the Oak Ridge player. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I would have called York's Wattenberger there for a reach around on Strader. I didn't see it. They called the foul on Brennan Scott. I didn't see it. I must have been looking somewhere else.
Wildcats in the lead, 69-47. They're getting more players in. Andrew Hall's back in. Zach Bird remains in the ball game for them. Back to the free throw line will go Wattenberger. His shot is good. Oak Ridge's lead is 69-48. Down the floor will come Ray Watson. He works the ball to Caden Brightheart to Brennan Scott. Scott got a screen again. He'll drive in for layup. It's blocked. Out of bounds. They're going to say it's going to be because of a foul against the York Dragons. There was some contact there. I would have just let them play through that, but I would make a bad official because, there's certain things I think they should let them play some, and, that one, whatever. Brennan Scott's free throw is up good. I'm not picking on the officials like you are, Mark. I don't know why you're always on these guys.
Well, I don't know if it's a pastime or a way of life.
Both free throws good, and the Wildcat lead is 71-48. Last year I think we started with McMinn County in an opening ball game and kind of had a similar result, and just had a nice play by Lucas Hammonds to flex it, gets a steal for the Wildcats, and down the floor Grayson Strader didn't have a shot, backs it up to Brightheart, and back to the top for Brennan for three. It's up good, and Brennan is over 20 in the ball game.
Yeah, he's got 22, David. He leads all scorers tonight for both the Wildcats and York as he comes up with a steal.
See if he dishes it off. He is. And here's a layup by Grayson Strader. Good. And another bucket and a foul. And Grayson has an opportunity for a three-point play. That was some really good teamwork right there by Brennan Scott.
Yeah, it really was. Nice job to bring the defender to him, and he just did a two-handed shuffle pass there to Strader, who completes the layup for the Wildcats and now attempts to complete the three-point play.
Wildcats are going to get McCullough, Thomas, Green in the ball game. As the Wildcats, Grayson Strader goes to the line. 76-48, the Wildcats trying to complete the three-point play, and they do. And Grayson hits the shot, and that'll probably be the end of the night for Grayson Strader. And what a fine ball game, him and Brennan Scott and the others. I can't think, honestly, in the girls' game, I thought we turned the ball over a few too many times. In this ball game, and there's a trip and a foul called against Oak Ridge. In this ball game, Mark, it's hard to think of anything at all the Wildcats have done negatively in this game.
Yeah, I would agree with you, David. And what I look at the score sheet, David, is that I see 4 players tonight in double figures for the Wildcats. So nice, even scoring and distribution by the Wildcats tonight.
First free throw is up, and it is good. 77-49, Oak Ridge in the lead. 4:27 to play. Wildcats will play, the Wildcat boys or girls will play Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. The girls on Monday, the boys and girls on Tuesday, just the boys on Wednesday against Cobb County. Cameron McCullough puts up a shot, no good. He battles for his own rebound, can't get it, pulled away by York. 4:14 to play, 77-49 Wildcats. Here comes York with a lob down low. They get a shot up, good. And little ticky-tack foul called there. Got him on the wrist a little bit, but usually you just kind of go with that. But we got some officials working their first ball games here at the Wildcat Arena. And honestly, the officiating, I think, has been pretty good for both games, actually.
Yeah, I was about to say, you called that ticky-tack foul. That sounds like you're being a little critical of the referees.
No, I just think at this stage in the game, sometimes you just kind of let things go. As Bird puts it up there, and it nestles in there good. Down the floor with the basketball will come Oak Ridge. Quez Thomas with it across the line. Maybe his brother's watching us or listening to us. The Wildcats get a shot up, no good. Missed by Gavin Johnson, kind of rushed it just a bit. I think he thought defense was in his face, and I think he had a little bit more space. One thing they have done well, this York team, they have lobbed over the top of us pretty well in this game as they get here's a blocked shot. Nice one by Shamar. Shamar Green blocks that one. Here comes Oak Ridge back the other way. The only negative I can think of is Thomas goes in for the shot, and he is going to be fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. They have done a good job lobbing it over the top of us.
Yeah, David. One thing I'm surprised is York basically still has their starters in the ball game. I mean, it's 77-52. Oak Ridge has basically cleared their bench at this point, but they don't want to go very deep on their bench, I'm assuming.
Wildcats have played everybody available today. Everybody who is available. Of course, we're still missing some football guys that'll be joining us, including Connor Cummings, Price Davis, Ethan Eubanks, and Cooper Williams. The Wildcats will have the basketball. Marcus Peters has a layup opportunity. It's a reverse layup. Good. Marcus has his first 2 points of the game.
Yes, he does, as the Wildcats lead 79-52 with a 27-point lead.
3:17 to play. We'll be speaking to Coach Green after the ball game. There's another lob. Once again, he missed the shot this time. The rebound pulled away by Gavin. Gavin Johnson down the floor. Hesitates, accelerates, goes in for the shot. High off the glass, no good. Put back up, and good by the Wildcats. And I believe that was Shamar Green with the bucket.
It was. He has his first 2 points of the ball game, David.
81-52 the score. So just about everybody's played. We got to get Gavin a bucket here. I think he might be the only guy. He maybe, and Cameron McCullough, as they launch a shot, no good. Rebounded by Bryson Comer. Comer pushes it up the floor, down the floor with it. They'll work it inside for the layup. Good. Shamar Green with another bucket. And the Wildcat lead is 31 points, 83-52. And now they'll bring some new guys in as Braden Christensen comes into the ball game along with Carter Gibson and Grayson Winningham. So they're getting some young guys in. The Wildcats up by 31 points, headed for win number 1 here in the 2022-2023 season. Great way to start the season.
Yes, it really is. As their player goes in for a layup, misses it, gets a rebound by the Wildcats. Going in for a dunk attempt is number 3. Marcus Peters. Unfortunately, he kind of lost the ball on his way up, so not able to connect on his first dunk attempt.
Hey, Mark, you remember last year we didn't see one dunk by one single Wildcat, so any dunk would be appreciated, even a missed one. Here comes Marcus back up with a shot. Good. Little lefty off the glass there, and the Wildcats lead 85-52.
Yeah, I agree. Now, another player who hasn't scored is, as you said, McCullough. Of course, the thing I've noticed about him, he kind of reminds me of Shamar Smith, who would come in the game and get like 2 fouls in 30 seconds, and that's kind of what McCullough's done tonight.
Here comes a 3 by Peters. Good. 3-point shot by the lefty. He bombs it home, and Oak Ridge leads 88-52. Kind of hard to keep up with the scoring here. We're down to 1:41 to play. Another near steal. Going to have a travel called against York. 1:38 to play in the ball game. Oak Ridge on top, 88-52. Coach Pyle with his hand covering his face on his chin, not too happy. Ready to head on back to Jamestown, or as Gary Cooper would call it, Jimtown in the movie Alvin York. which was a great movie about Alvin York, who this school is named for. Shamar Green goes in for the shot. Good. Shamar looks good today. Looking a lot of confidence. He's a sophomore, looking good, tall player for the Wildcats, and Oak Ridge has 90 in their first ball game.
Yeah, I can see a lot of potential in Green there, David, as Comer is able to deflect the ball, and he comes up with a nice dish over there to Thomas. Thomas goes up, and it's good.
The Oak Ridge students won 100, but I don't think they can score 8 in the next minute. Oak Ridge leads by 40 now, 92-52. They've just worn them down, Mark.
Yeah, they have. I think they're going to be content to just let them kind of ride out the clock here, David.
Bounce pass deflected out of bounds. They say last touch by York. 42 seconds. We got a running clock here. Oak Ridge by 40, 92-52. We appreciate the Fox Insurance Group, Ortho Tennessee, Oak Ridge Utility District, Mortgage Investors Group, Laura Lynn Green. As here's a shot and miss, rebounded by Bryson. Bryson's shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Shamar once again. Green knocks it in, and it's 94-52. Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty and 10 Bank, our corporate sponsors here. We need some individual sponsors. You can sponsor a ball game. It's $150 for one game, $250 for boys and girls as the final play of this game is going to come down to this lack of free throw shooting. 252. The Wildcats blow them out here. The Wildcats were up 20-5 after one quarter. 42-22 at the half, 63-43, and a dominant performance in the fourth quarter where the York Institute team only scored 9 points, and the Wildcats outscored them, I believe, 31-9. You're the math major here, but just a nice win for the Wildcats. They win their opener, 94-52. Your thoughts?
I think it was a great opening game for the Wildcats. Both teams had a lot of energy tonight. Conditioning was not an issue. As I said earlier, the Wildcats played so fast that I bet they had to substitute quite a bit early on, and they did that, and very effectively tonight as they get a huge win by 42 points.
Final score of the ball game, the Wildcats win it 94-52. We'll have the final stats. We'll have Coach Green. Wildcats win it. We're going to take a break here. When we come back, we'll have the stats or Coach Green. We'll be back following this 4-minute timeout.
Energize your home with natural gas from ORUD, your affordable energy choice. ORUD has generous appliance incentives to offer your family. Buy appliances from us and get rewarded. It's as simple as that. We're a one-stop shop. We'll sell and install gas appliances for our customers and make it easy to add to your bill with our 0% interest financing. Plus, you can save over $1,000 on your annual utility bills when you switch to natural gas for heating, cooking, and clothes drying. Comfort you can feel, savings you can use. ORUD Natural Gas. Visit our showrooms in Oak Ridge, Kingston, and our virtual showroom at ORUD.org.
Wildcat fans, this is Todd Fox. Auto Owners Insurance and Fox Insurance Group in Oak Ridge, a winning combination. We'll work with you to ensure your home, auto, business, and life keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance and Fox Insurance Group in Oak Ridge, the no problem people. For more information, visit grayfoxins.com or call 482-0513.
They say that being a coach's wife is hard, but Laura Lynn Green, wife of Oak Ridge head coach Aaron Green, and a local State Farm insurance agent, makes buying insurance easy for you. Auto, homeowners, renters, business, life, health, and much more. Laura Lynn Green's office is located at 136 Marquette Road in Oak Ridge. Give her a call today at 483-5666 or say hello to her courtside at any Oak Ridge High School basketball game. She might be a coach's wife, but she was a Wildcat fan first. For State Farm Insurance, call Laura Lynn Green in Oak Ridge.
I'm Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty. I'm a proud graduate of Oak Ridge High School, class of 1982, and a member of the 1980 State Championship football team. As a lifelong resident of Oak Ridge, I would love to put my knowledge of the area to work for you should you have any real estate needs. You can contact me at 865-919-5559 or at BetsyColemanRealty.com. Thank you, and roll Wildcats roll.
Omaha, hike. Hometown football excitement is in the air, and it's sponsored by your hometown bank, 10 Bank. 10 Bank helps build our local community and businesses, which helps create jobs. Bank local, so our community wins. 10 Bank, member FDIC.
Mortgage Investors Group at the Oak Ridge office. We love our community and Oak Ridge Wildcat basketball. We pride ourselves in taking the same winning tradition in helping you find the perfect mortgage loan for your family. Ask for Norma Sheldon, Jackie Pullen, Shannon Ochiltree, Mandy Henry, or Darren Osborne at 865-482-8910 or visit us online at mortgageinvestorsgroup.com. Tennessee Mortgage License Number 109111. MIG is an equal housing lender.
Ortho Tennessee Oak Ridge, our staff and our practice are committed to orthopedic excellence in this region. We strive to treat our patients with the respect and understanding they deserve. Our physicians provide service at Methodist Medical Center, Tenova, Roane County Medical Center, and Park West Medical Center to accommodate all your orthopedic needs. Ortho Tennessee Oak Ridge has 2 locations, one in Oak Ridge and the other in Roane County, serving this area since 1979. We're a proud supporter of the Wildcats.
For personal, professional, and affordable accounting services, call Tracy Larrabee, CPA. Tracy is a 1978 graduate of Oak Ridge High School and can help with business, individual, estate, interest tax accounting services, payroll processing for businesses, small business bookkeeping, tax planning, plus management advisory services. Call Tracy Larrabee, CPA, 425-7736, or stop by 683 Emory Valley Road, Suite B. Tracy Larrabee, CPA.
Come in, discover the difference of an independent insurance agency. Fox Insurance Group, Oak Ridge.
Welcome back once again to the Wildcat Arena. The Wildcats victorious here in the boys game, 94-52 was the final score. Let me kind of see. Coach Green has made his way out of the dressing room. He's talking to Coach Joe Gaddis, the athletic director at Oak Ridge, and Drayton Hawkins, principal at Oak Ridge High School. Roger Mitchell is down there as well. We wait to speak to him. In a moment, Mark will have the final statistics, and we'll run those down for you. Let me run through the schedule here again. I know this could be a little bit confusing, but the Lady Wildcats' next ball game will be Monday, and that'll be a 7:30 ball game in Pigeon Forge, and they'll be taking on CAK. The boys will not play on Monday. On Tuesday, the boys and girls will be in action. The boys will play at 6 o'clock. They'll play South Doyle. And then at 7:30, the girls will play South Doyle. Those games will be at Sevier County High School. Then on Wednesday, a boys-only game, a 1 o'clock ball game in the afternoon, 1 o'clock, Oak Ridge taking on Cocke County. Cocke County, incidentally, was the very first team that Coach Green faced as the head coach of the Wildcats. His very first ball game, they lost that ball game. He lost his very first ball game. He'll play them on Wednesday. We haven't played them since. As I see Coach Green is making his way up the steps towards the press box, which was added onto the arena as an afterthought. If you've ever driven by the Providence Road side of the high school, you'll see that little thing jutting out from the gym. That's the press box that they didn't even think about building when they came to it. Had to add it on to the building later. Coach Green is making his way in here. We'll let him get settled down here. Get a chance to speak to the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Aaron Green. And Coach, first off, congratulations on the win. It's always good to start off on the right foot. And this is a team that played for the state championship a year ago, losing to Milan in the state championship ball game. I meant to ask Coach Pyle how many returning players he had off of last year's team. They were very solid, very fundamentally sound. But your team came out strong. I mean, Mark and I were talking during the broadcast. It's hard to think, and of course, as a coach, you can probably make a list of things that you saw that need to be improved upon. But for a first ball game, I thought for the most part you played pretty well, just about all aspects of the game.
We did, David, and they're not a bad basketball team. They're missing some guys in football just like we are. So I think Coach Pyle said they were missing maybe 2 starters. So, but they've got 14 can play. Again, I'm looking at names here. The York kid's a really good player. Canaster, I think, is quick, and the big kid inside hurt us a little bit the second half. But it's really the first time. I mean, we've talked kind of about over the last since the season ended last year, Dave. It's the first time I've really the guys have been able to put on a uniform and obviously with lights on and play a game. So I was excited to see how they would play. I thought we did some good things. I thought that we did some bad things, but they played hard for sure. I thought we had a little bit of a lull there in the second quarter. But they played hard. They competed, and for the most part, shared the ball. And just looking here at the score sheet, we had pretty good balance. I know Brennan had 22, and I think Grayson had 16. Had most of those in the first half, but Caden Brightheart had 19. So, and Ray had 10. So we had 4 guys in double figures, and then Shamar had 8, Marcus Peters had 7, and he may have went through the stats, but it looked like we had pretty good balance. So overall, good start. The one thing I said to the team after the game was, the first words out of my mouth was, focus on the process and not the end result. We got to continue to get better. Just how much better can we get over the next week, and we'll see how it all plays. But a good group to coach. They're fun to coach. They go hard, and that's really all you can ask for as a coach. So just got to continue to get better.
Coach, one of the things that I jokingly said several times was that, if you're not a parent or grandparent, girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever, if you're not somebody familiar with these guys, you're going to need a roster, because after losing, the top 6 players off of last year's team and returning only, Grayson and Bryson are the only 2 seniors that were actually on the team a year ago. Yeah. Lucas Hammonds is a senior, but he was not on the team since his freshman year. The only people that really saw a little bit of action were Brennan Scott and Caden Brightheart, just a little. Right. The rest of them are all newcomers, primarily a lot of them off of the junior varsity, a lot of them off of the freshman team. So if you don't have a roster, and hopefully Teresa Seals will print up a few more before the next home ball game, you're going to be lost, because there's a lot of new guys you're working with. Yeah, and now some of those new guys had another guy, Marcus Peters, is a senior that wasn't on the team last year as well, so add him to that list too. But yeah, I mean, we knew I don't think I've had a team, David, and maybe you can help me remember. This is my 13th year where we lose our top 6 guys, But a lot of these guys, I would say, have kind of waited their turn. We had a really good group of seniors last year that I thought, for the most part, overachieved, scrappy, gritty bunch. I think this team is very, very similar, a little bit different. We got a lot more size than we had last year, obviously. They're a good group. We've got, this may be one of the deepest teams I've had, honestly, because we got a lot of guys. We played all 11 tonight. When we add the football guys in here, it's going to play itself out. But we got a lot of tough decisions to make, and we'll have a lot of guys competing for minutes. So, but probably one of the deepest teams, without question, that I've had since I've been here. I was going to ask you about that. I know you don't want a rotation of 11, but you're going to add 3 or 4 more. You're Connor and a few other players, Cooper and
Price Davis.
Price Davis, right? Yeah. You told me the other day that Price really had a good off season. So you're going to have a lot of players, and with your style, as Mark pointed out several times, you need that, because you really press and put a lot of pressure on teams with your defense. You're relentless with your defense, and you substituted a lot. And I think that lull in the second quarter came sometime when you had to kind of get some other guys in there. Yeah. I'm not making excuses for those guys, obviously, but I think that happened. But I agree with you. You didn't really have a lot of drop off. And one person that and I don't want to talk about, I could talk about all the people that played well, but I thought somebody who actually has taken the biggest step, I think, from last year. Well, 2 guys actually. I think Grayson Strader looks a little different. He looks a lot more confident. He's not just standing outside the arc and shooting threes. He's going inside. He's rebounding. He's doing all that. Caden Brightheart is going to be a bright star, I think, for you guys this year. Brennan, we've seen what he's done, and he has aspects of his game that he's improved. But I like the way Grayson and Caden Brightheart have upped their games, and they needed to here this year.
Yeah, I thought, just from this summer, when these guys finally got, got, significant minutes, in summer ball and stuff like that. I thought Grayson had a chance to be one of our better players. He's got, he can shoot it. He's got really good, he got a good stroke and he's got good size, and he turned his ankle a little bit and didn't get to scrimmage in one of our rounds, but he can post up as well. He can shoot the three, made the three there before the half on a play we run to get him a look, and he can also score in the post. He had 6 rebounds tonight, and he's definitely improved a ton. I think if I had, without singling anybody out, I think Caden Brightheart, and I'll say this in front of the team, he has a quiet toughness about him. He's a kid that doesn't say a whole lot, but I like his style. He's our best defender. He's athletic, he's tough, he's strong, doesn't say a whole lot, just goes out there and competes and has some skill. He's lefty, can shoot it and get to the hole. He's probably one of our better drivers that we have. And, but the part I like about him is, if we can get everybody defending like him, especially on the ball, we'll have a chance to be decent.
Coach, I want to hold you here much longer. I'm going to ask you about the coming up ball games. Obviously, you'll play, I think it's South Doyle on Tuesday at Sevier County, and then on Wednesday, I think you play Cobb County. And you've argued with me for 13 years that game should not count against your record.
That was my first game here, wasn't it, at Cobb County?
It really was.
Never will forget it, yeah. We had a shot. Spencer Schaffner had a shot at the buzzer to win it, and he missed it on a side-out play. But I think we were missing some football guys too. We end up going on like a 17-game winning streak or something like that afterwards. But I thought, man, first game I thought I've lost the first game. I'm gonna get fired right off the bat. So I definitely remember it.
Coach, so you got some more games, 2 road games. I don't know much about Cobb County. I know South Doyle probably will be athletic. Their football guys have been back since, and they've been with them the whole time. But the process is not about winning. Obviously, you want to win every ball game. The process in November is about getting ready for March. And I thought your scrimmages really were good for you. You played a variety of different kinds of teams, and it only makes you better as you progress, and you've got 2 next week.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think our scrimmages did help us play some. We had really some close games. East Hamilton, Walker Valley down there last week was coming down the last possession, and had a close one with Stone that we lost here, and we had Greenville and Anderson County. Greenville missing some guys, but yeah, it's and you mentioned it earlier. We got it's a really good group of kids. They're working hard, but we've got a lot of we got a long way to go. We got to continue to get better. You mentioned Brendan Scott. He's improved a lot. He had some drives to the basket that he couldn't do last year, and finishes and had a couple and one. So we've and I thought these guys would. I knew that they've worked hard, and they've kind of paid their dues and waited their turn, and they've put the time in, and I expect them to play well. It's just what's the ceiling on this team? I don't really know. We'll see. We'll just continue to get better and work hard, and and we've got unselfish guys, and we shared the ball pretty good tonight. So a good start, but we got a lot of practices, a lot of games to play, and like you said, we're just trying to get ready for March right now, and how good can we be come tournament time.
Coach, just your final comments on the win tonight.
Yeah, good win. Student section was good for first game. They got on to me because I only brought them 2 pizzas, so next time I've got to step up my game. But student section was great. Come on out if you're listening. This team's fun to watch, and come on out and we got everybody in. I don't know, not looking at the score. I think almost everybody scored, but anytime you put up 94 and hold a team to 52, it's a good night. But again, we got a long way to go. We got to continue to get better, David.
Coach, thanks a lot. We'll see you in Sevier County on Tuesday.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, David.
Aaron Green, head coach of the Wildcats. Oak Ridge wins the boys game by a final score of 94-52 to open up their season. Mark Haste has completed the final stats of the ball game. Mark?
Thank you very much, David. Leading scorer for the Wildcats, as Coach Green said, Brendan Scott. I got him with 22 points. He was 7 of 12 from the field, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, also in double figures. Caden Brightheart, he had 19. He was 7 of 12 from the field, 3 of 6 from the free throw line. Let's see, I try to calculate these in my head. Going down, 16 points by Grayson Strader. He was 7 of 9 from the field, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. Also in double figures was Raekwon Watson. He had 10 points, 5 of 11 from the field. And then Shamar Green came off the bench. He added 8 points, 4 of 4 from the field, 6 points added by Lucas Hammonds. Let's see, anybody else? 7 points by Marcus Peters. He was 3 of 4 from the field. As I said, 6 points by Lucas Hammonds. He was 3 of 8 from the field. 4 points by Jaquez Tom